and the start recording
Okay.
button just in case. And we have.
Okay. Looks like it's just us here.
I mean, this is a good amount of people, and more will probably
Who's
show up.
who's Hyosukon?
Just a normal person doing a normal things. That's a lie, like knives.
All right then.
It's an account that joined on April 24th.
Okay. Tell me when I should start.
Everyone ready? You can start now, guys, you think?
Is this chapter 1 or chapter 7? I thought I saw chapter 7 up there.
This,
Yep, it is chapter 7. You came in late.
Okay, so Ursula has already done like 3 readings of this. This is a 60,000 word story that he wrote, so he's not been able to
What's
read it.
the premise? Can I see the premise of this thing?
Read the summary.
It's time
Alright,
to lock in. It's time to lock in.
All right. Do you know the video game Faster Than Light?
No.
Okay, this is going to
Are
be.
Are you joking? You're actually reading that one?
Sorry, what?
You're actually reading Faster and Light, the Neurofic.
Yes, I'm the one that made it.
Oh, I see. Was just finished playing Faster and Light, so this is a really interesting coincidence. Sorry. Continue.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey.
it's the crow.
Hey, you came in just on time. We're about to start.
You gotta read the.
I'm out then. I have a headache, and I don't think I can handle read along right now.
Oh, okay.
I just came to see who the heck pinged me twice.
Yeah, but by the way,
How did
By the way,
I get a read along title? Did I just join a read along at some point? It's only I'm part of the read alongs.
If you got the do you not want the role? I will remove it from you.
Oh no, I don't mind. I'm just not going to be on every read along,
that's
especially if it
fine.
depends on the fic, I guess.
That's
All right,
okay.
I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna just draw something and then go to sleep. See ya.
okay,
Bye.
okay, so yeah, but to answer that guy's question that just left, just that right at that moment, uh, so yeah, to answer the question of the guy that just left, Annie, Server, and Filian is on the Kestrel. They found evil in the box. Nero is on top of the flagship. Sorry, get hijinks ensues.
Hello. Oh, hi, Iron Hand.
Hello. I'm here.
You are here.
In any case, I think I should start.
Yes, you can start.
Faster Starlight, Tales 2 AIs. Chapter 7, Mantises and Zoltans. Huh? Where am I? An unfamiliar ceiling greeted Kobo as she woke up. As she slowly looked around, she noticed that she wasn't in her cell. Instead, her view was assaulted by an absolute wreck of a bedroom. An assortment of stuff was piled up in no particular order in the corners of, leaving a big empty area in the middle. Oh, right, I was saved. Kobo shot straight up. Her mind finally processed the event of yesterday. The slavers that had captured her had accosted another ship and got trashed. She remembered the rockman that grabbed her by the shoulder and dropped her at the teleporter room, then somewhat nauseating feeling of being teleported, then how the first thing she saw was weapons being pointed at her. Scary stuff. So much has changed in a period of a day that her mind is still trying to keep up. She's on a new ship with new people. She was now a roommate with a white-haired girl that apparently didn't know how to clean her own room. Like, she's in an actual room with an actual bed. Well, it's not like everything changed. I still have this... Huh? Kobo brushed her neck, only to find out that the object she was complaining about was no longer on her neck. Where was it? Did someone manage to take it off? Kobo's mind reeled. There was now nothing familiar about her situation. Thank you, business! Yeah, it's no big deal. The Kestrel is usually silent during moments of FTL jump. However, this time was different. Annie entered the Kestrel's cockpit to the sight of a Kobo firmly attached to Filion. Wow, you two sure bonded fast. Though a bit surprised to see a Zoltan bond so easily, Annie gave us a little smile. Because Filion saved me! Kobo turned to face Annie. However, her hand still held onto Filion's sleeve. She removed my bomb collar! It's not even a bomb collar! This Filion corrected, her left arm being commandeered by Kobo meant she had only had her right hand on a control stick, and I could detect a hint of exasperation from her voice. I thought it was, but I don't have to worry about that anymore because Filion removed it. She's been like this ever since Filion says she removed her choker. Evil interjected, her avatar's mouth pursed. She didn't let go of her sleeve even for a second. Annie giggled. It was a cute display, but she could see how it could become a problem. Just don't overdo it, okay, Kobo? If Filion tells you to stop, you must, okay? Okay. Here you are. Cerberus suddenly entered the cockpit. Kobo, come with me for a bit. Cerber held out her hand, but Kobo made no sign of moving. Kobo, what did I just say? Annie reminded Kobo. Huh? But Vix's Filion didn't tell me to stop. Kobo tilted her head and answered in the most innocent voice she could muster. Oh, is that so? Annie was still smiling, but her expression clearly tightened. Kobo's demeanor seemed slightly less cute now. Filion, could you... Right. Listen to Mom, Kobo. Filion jokingly asserted. Okay. Kobo's grip lingered for a bit longer before he let Filion's left arm go. So, Kobo, Cerber adjusted her glasses, clipboard in hand. Could you explain to me what your greatest strength is? What? Kobo looked around. Cerber and her hat entered the engine room, and Cerber locked the doors. Kobo sat on a chair that was prepared for her, while Cerber sat on the one directly opposite. What's going on? We're determining your placement. Her pen tapped on the clipboard. Placement? Surely you didn't think you could just mooch off us without doing any work, do you? No? Kobo answered. The light spot that where her eyes wandered somewhere else, never meeting Cerber's gaze. Good. Cerber clicked the pen, revealing the tip. Whether she didn't notice Kobo's hesitation or just didn't care wasn't said aloud. Let's start again. My greatest strength, right? Kobo repeated the earlier question. She didn't think long. Cleaning! Kobo shouted proudly. Her body language showed that she was quite pleased. However, her puffed chest deflated back as several seconds of silence followed. Is that it? Cerber asked, a concerned frown still on her face. Well, that was all I was allowed to do. Kobo shifted uncomfortably after some great secret shame of hers had been revealed. That didn't last long, and she perked once more. Oh, I suppose I know a bit about engine operations. Why didn't you start with that? Well, I mostly just watch. Just watch? Yeah, my cell's on the engine room, so I sometimes see them operate it. So there is also 2 other Zoltans there, so I'm not too alone. Another silence followed. Mouse, work with me here. There we go. Wow, those printers just get worse and worse, don't they? Evil commented from the side, after appeared on the engine room terminal. I was told that this was how it actually is. They even do it on saturation ships. Kobo threw out another line with the confidence of a diva during a musical. I mean, you're not wrong. Now it's Cerber's turn to shift in discomfort. Wait, what? Evil wasted no time, announcing her surprise. You guys do it? I thought you were the good guys. No, you're not in a cell if you're wondering. The Sultans were willing volunteers who are part of the crew, and in the middle of the monologue, Cerber noticed Kobo had stared upon her and Evil with the same morbid fascination as watching cats about to fight. It looked like she wanted to stop the two, but was too scared to go in between them. Okay, why don't we save this for later? Fine, but I expect full explanation. Hey guys, we're almost strap in. We're almost there. During the chaotic moment, Fillion's face also appeared on the engine room terminal. Fillion, uh, Fillion, did you know that that using Zoltan as a power source is normal? Discovering a new outlet, Evil unleashed her question. Huh? Oh, that whole thing? Fillion tilted her head for a second before she seemingly remembered something. Yeah, it's kind of weird punishment, isn't it? Punishment? Bro, apparently in your homeworld, being sent to sit around in a power reactor is a thing. Isn't that crazy? That's not even the punishment. Triggered by the question, Fillion went on a tirade. Huh? Well, anyway, anyways, we're exiting FTL soon, so you guys might want to hurry it up. Bye! Fillion's face disappeared from the engine room terminal, leaving the three still in the room, completely gobsmacked. Hold on, I need a minute. Evil's avatar started moving again. That's fair. Cerber took a breath she didn't know she was holding and turned her attention to Kopo. Kobo, you stay in the engine room. I'll teach you engine operation. Huh? Oh, Roger, or something like that. Kobo responded. She tried to perform a salute, but it's clear she was unfamiliar with the procedure. Then, yeah. Hold on. Hold on. Need a drink. Hmm? Udah. Hmm? Gitu. Kemarin pas mami itu kan itu di dalam kato, di dalam embernya. Di dalam situ. Hmm. The Kestrel exited the FTL next to the jump beacon. From out the cockpit lit window, Film could immediately see the remarkable view. Two stars, one blue and one yellow, danced around each other in a binary star system. The-
Itu kan ada berapa di situ? Mau apa ya? Biji yang merah muda, yang
Aku taruhnya di situ. Sorry about sorry something came up. Alright, I'm back.
Welcome back.
The castle has the exited FTL next to the jump beacon. From outside the cockpit window, William could immediately see the remarkable view. 2 stars, one blue and one yellow, dance around each other in the binary star system. Guys, seeing this shit? The villain's grip on the control stick loosens slightly, tries by Fillion, focus! Evil's shout broke Fillion out of her trance, alerting her to the warning from the ship center. One ship, right above us! Heeding Evil's warning, Fillion put max power into the engine and sped up, causing 2 heavy laser shots to miss the casserole. Fillion checked the sensor and saw a bright red ship pull itself out of the dive and fly straight towards the casserole. Mantis! Fillion exclaimed, recognizing the unique shape of a mantis ship. Grabbing the control stick, Fillion sped up and tried to outrun the mantis ship. However, the sound of teleportation signaled the futility of the effort. Evil, you fly! Fillion said as she front flipped out of the pilot's seat. A split second later, 2 sharpened claws dug into the pilot's seat, right where her neck would have been, as she put as much distance as she could inside the cramped cockpit. Seeing that the sneak attack had failed, the mantis dislodged their claws seat, leaving a nasty gash as the mantis' serrated claws dragged across it. Fillion studied the man-sized praying mantis, where if anything it might try next. Hold on. Mantis voice requires preparation. My name is Likon Kraglika. Mantis raised their claw. Technically human! With a swiftness nearly beyond Fillion's own. Mantis leapt towards Fillion's claws for Fillion rolled over the pilot's seat as the mantis claws came down, denting the floor. Fillion grabbed one of her ankles, which bled slightly. Yeah, technically to you too! Fillion went in for a punch, but had to retract her fish before the mantis claws had a chance to close her. The kick she did right after managed to hit the mantis on his shoulder joints, eliciting a yell from the insect. While Fillion was having a Dutch match with the mantis, Annie clicked her tongue in frustration. The moment she saw the teleport in the room, she had to try to shut it down before any teleport could be done. Unfortunately, the Artemis missile was a little too late. Positive side was now that the teleporter was disabled, no more teleporter shenanigans until they fixed it. The negative side, of course, there was the mantis on the ship. Lasers spat past the casseroles, only occasionally hitting the shield. Heavy laser shots slammed into the airlock, having a fire to out. Acting quickly, Evil opened the airlock door, depriving the fire of oxygen and snuffing it out. Back in the cockpit, Sphelia wasn't doing too great. She hadn't caused that much meaningful damage to the mantis. The mantis, however, had exhausted her. Sphelia could feel her breath getting shallower and shallower. She expended most of her energy dodging the mantis' deadly claws. She had multiple bleeding wounds, though none were serious. The movement of her legs were clearly slowing her down. You know mantis kata, human? How surprising. The mantis chittered. Ordinarily, any human that got to this point would already be dead. However, this one showed familiarity in the way mantis fights. Sorry guys, I gotta fall back. Fillion spat past the mantis, getting painful gash on her abdomen as the mantis claws nicked her. The mantis tried to follow, but the door shut and locked behind Fillion. Coward. After a few slams, the mantis instead turned the piloting system. After a shooting motion, the mantis spat a glob of vile acid into the system, shorting it and forcing the engine emergency shutdown due to steering loss. You got it? Server questioned. Her hand firmly on Kobo's shoulder, who was slightly panicking. I think? Kobo's tone was unsure. She managed to grasp the basics, but doing so in live combat was a stressful endeavor. Great, I have to go. Keep doing a good job. You're leaving? Yep, the engine's useless if the steering is gone, so I have to fix it. Wait, help me a bit more, lah! Having been thrown off the deep end, Kobo protested. However, Cerber already disappeared through the door. Cerber crossed the weapon room to see Annie struggling with the weapon. The destroyed pilot meant no help in aiming, and he had to aim purely using the rotation help, Evil had launched a hacking drone aimed at the man's ship's engines. I'll try to fix the piloting. Try to hit their weapon control, Cerber shouted as she went past. Be careful of the mantis, Cerber. Annie replied. I will. Cerber continued to medbay, where Philly was recuperating from her wounds. Damn! What was with that mantis? He sharpened his claws or something. In the medbay, Fillian's wounds were already closed. Medical stitched her skin back together. Fillian, you good? Good enough. Wanna help? Hopefully I won't get eviscerated. Server tapped her wrench to her palms a few times, just ready to fight. Nodding to each other, both of them charged to the door leading to the door control. Since the piling was destroyed, the casserole floated aimlessly to space. The only thing protecting it now was one layer of shield, which was woefully unqualified for defending two heavy laser shots simultaneously. Gritting her teeth, Annie waited for the mantis ship to pass the casserole. Evil Silence signaled through a hacking drone, and the mantis ship's thrusters suddenly deactivated. Unhindered by the ship's mobility, Annie fired a burst laser into the weapon control room. Annie glanced at the upgraded sensor array to the fear that a fire had broken up in the mantis ship weapon control room. Alright, that's their weapons down. Annie let out her health breath. Hopefully, Cerber could repair the piling before it goes back up. With Evil watched as another mantis ordered an NG, most likely a slave that the mantis grabbed to maintain their ship to repair the weapons. It seemed the NG had adamantly refused, and Cerber and Philip entered the door control room at the same time as the mantis, but broke into the opposite door by using their strength to overpower the door's pneumatic locks. So you brought a friend, human, and no matter, more fun for me. The mantis raised their claws once again. For le complicada! Fillian, that's a typo. Fillian moved ahead of Cerber, opening with her standard flying kick. Gliding on four legs, the mantis dodged the flying kick and neck. The wrench to the joints caused the mantis to miss their attack. As the mantis turned to deprive Cerber of her arms, they took their eyes off Fillian, who bounced off the opposite wall and managed to land a solid kick to the back of their head. You! Now absolutely pissed off, the mantis grabbed Fillian like mid-air. Fillian screeched as she felt the mantis' sharpened claws dig into her calf. Cerber moved in to help Fillian, but the mantis' other claws swiped at her, giving her a slight haircut. Had she not ducked, the cut would have been around her neck. Her wrench flew out of her hand as one of the mantis' legs kicked her with surprising strength, nearly stabbing through her. Annie and Evil was having grand old time trying to suppress the weapon system from firing again, when something unexpected happened. Huh? Are they healing? The words Evil had said had so unexpected. The three brawlers in the door control room stopped fighting and stared at the fit screen in that room. Unidentified ship, you killed the other mantis on board with your barrage. On the fit screen was an NG Annie, Evil and Annie saw taking orders from the mantis. On the corner of the video, a corpse of a mantis was seen. No one to superfight equals no longer a slave. We'll take this ship back to Hope Sector. Take this as a reward. With the announcement, the mantis ship disperses some fragment to the void and started charge up STL. Hey, machine bastard! I'm still here! Recovering from their shock, the surviving mantis angrily clicked, generating insult. You can't get me, stupid poo-poo face. With the last monotone remark, the call ended. The mantis chittered what must be some colorful mantis profanities as their solo ship jumped into the gale. Idiot! Backstabbing machine! I knew they couldn't be trusted! While the mantis was so focused on his fifth screen, Cerber tried to swing her wrench at the mantis' head. However, the mantis was good enough to catch. You're the one that took Adenji as a slave, Cerber retorted. She tried to pull away, but the mantis wouldn't let go of her wrench. So, if this situation is kind of, on you? Fine, nice. I guess I just have to take over this ship then. The Mantis immediately went for Cerber. They raised their right claw, gleaming like a reaper's sight under the Castro's bright light. Bro, your Mantises really don't know when to stop, do you? The Mantis forgot one important thing though. Using both hands to deal with Cerber, that meant they weren't holding onto Filian. Using the fire extinguisher in the room, Filian bashed the Mantis' head hard. The Mantis dropped like a fly smacking into the lamp. Filian, are you okay? Cerber slipped into Filian's right and supported her bleeding calf. I've seen better days. Filian weakly laughed. Can you bring me to the med bay? Can you bring... Another drink. Wait. Okay. Alright then. The Castro crew sent Cerber, sat around the table in the cramped kitchen, and he had distributed today's ration bars. Unlike the Canary, the Castro's ration bars were bigger, more expensive one that Filian had requested. These ones were the size of a typical lunchbox, better to find ingredients. You think that wasn't an ordinary mantis? Uh, Annie said as she took another dainty bite of her own ration bar. Yeah, never heard of a mantis sharpening their during claws before. Maybe it's a recent thing. Filian said. Her ration bar was gone after the first few bites. The remnants could still be seen around her mouth. The bastards melted the wires. The bastards melted the wires. Cerber appeared through the doorway, wiping her sweat. We're lucky the replaceable bits are military grade. She made her way to the table and swiped the ration. Annie waved at her. She swiftly unwrapped the plastic cover and began chomping. Speaking about the mantis, where are they? Annie asked. Big Sis Filian throw them up the airlock. Kobo shoved the ration bar onto her face. Slowly, the bar sinks into her face like it's being consumed by an amoeba. What can I say? I sleep more peacefully without a mantis. It could slash my neck while I'm sleeping. Filian nonchalantly said. A little bit of twitch was seen on her cat ears. That's Flair. We don't have a break, nothing to restrain the mantis either. Annie's ears drooped at the thought. Still a bit cruel, don't you think? That kind of thinking is weak. Evil finished her analysis of the casserole system and rejoined the conference. Nothing is cruel if it's for your own survival. I still think there are lines you shouldn't cross. Annie sighed. I think I saw some surrounded by restraining gear. You are a kind idiot. Evil, that's mean. No, that's a fact, but it's not my place to tell you what to do. After saying her piece, Evil displayed the sector map on the nearby terminal. Alright, where to next? We never asked the location of the station the Canary was going to, didn't we? Annie lamented. You wanna go search for it? I think there's still time until the rebel fleet sweeps over the Filian stop as one of the beacons suddenly lit up. Guys, there's another distress signal. It just popped up. If that's genuine, we should have them. Annie, quick on the uptake, immediately made a decision. I, I knew you would say that. Evil's avatar reappeared back on the street. I'll set the FTL to that beacon. Alright, lunch is over. Annie pushed herself up and wolfed down the rest of her rush. We have people to save. Right now? Kobo questioned, still halfway to her own bar. Right now, we can't afford to waste even a second. With that, Annie left the room. Villian, having finished her lunch long ago, followed suit. Cerber grabbed Kobo, who was still confused by the shoulders, and led her back to the... As the Kestrel crew returned to their position, Sir Evil noticed the somber look on Cerber's face as she looked upon Annie. The Kestrel once again exited FTL, as it had done time and time before. A planetary body was visible the moment it touched. A lush and green planet that looked like, perhaps full of life, that had not yet comprehended the vast expanse of the universe and how to travel it. Evil immediately scanned every single inch of the nearby area, as she had done every time Kestrel exited the FTL jump. Her scan landed on one shape colored in white hue of the Federation, much like the Kestrel's own white hue, hiding in a nearby asteroid. The missile weapon attached to the ship lay dormant. Either their weapon system was broken or they had run out of ammo. Hey, that's a Federation ship, Cerber remarked. Why is it up here? I thought all Federation forces would report to Sector FTB-17. Evil send out a hail. Annie commanded. But before Evil even had the chance to reply, the Kestrel sensor lit up. What ship inbound? I feel warm as the ship suddenly arrived at the beacon. Hey, that's... The ship that arrived was green in color, with several circular marks that glowed bright yellow. The unusual bulbous shape looked like several ships stitched together. Gave off an oddly beautiful impression. As the ship finished exiting FTL, a greenish-yellow shield enveloped the entire ship. That's the Zoltan ship. And I finished Cillian's sentence. This is Cantor of the Zoltan Minister vessel DI-770S. A wide band hail came from the Zoltan ship. Evil didn't even have to connect to it. The ship you are currently harboring are fugitives. Please stand back and let us do our work. After this, we expect you to come with us to explain your involvement. What do we do? Kobo squeaked, clearly at a loss. If it's not too long, we could just avoid the hassle and go with it. Server mentioned. Her hand massaged Kobo's heart-light body to calm her down, though it was unknown if Kobo actually felt it. What? No, we can't afford any delays. Evil shot down Server's suggestion. The fleet could be here any minute. Guys, we can't let them get to us. Philin interjected, biting her lip. Is something the matter? Our hacking system is Zoltan made. Philin remembered the rest of the crew. If they find out it's not registered, we're going away for a long time. I knew that hacking system would bring trouble. Annie covered her own face with both her palms. Her fears were proven to be well-founded, as Hess went with thoughts with how to proceed. However, Evil spoke again. There's another hell temp. It's from the other ship. Evil immediately patched the call to the Kestrel. The cockpit of the Federation ship came into view. Oh, mysterious Kestrel, you have to help us! On the fit screen was a young woman. Her long hair was bright pink and tied the two small pigtails on to the side. She wore a standard gray jumpsuit and probably captain. We're not fugitives! The Zoltans must have mistaken us for another ship. They wouldn't listen! Well, we can't just let them be, can we? Evil made a remark, but a cold feeling started to take hold of her. Annie? Evil flinched. Annie's ears were up and her expression shadowed. Predatory Annie was back. Cerber? Annie's voice was deep and growling, like a star float. Eh, Annie, are you sure? Cerber? Annie repeated, her voice more frenzied. I've powered both weapons. Cerber replied over the intercom, her voice somewhat strained. Both of the Kestrel Artemis missile and burst laser were trained upon the Zoltan ship. This is a warning. We are authorized to use lethal force for any resistance. Please stand down. Detecting hostility from the Kestrel, Zoltan ship sent out the warning. Lethal force? I thought Zoltan were peaceful diplomatic lot. Eva pulled out what little memory she had. Yeah, but they're also stuck up with a peacekeeping force, Philian replied. Her tone suggested familiarity. Trust me, if someone can be diplomatic, then they can do a lot worse. Final warning, Kestrel. Seeing that Kestrel is not backing down, the Zoltan ship started to power up its own weaponry. A heavy ion on one side and a pike beam. Artemis missile slot! Fire! Evil got the first shot. The missile soared to the Zoltan, colliding with a greenish-yellow barrier. Evil expected the missile to go through unopposed, striking the weapon system. However, the missile instead exploded against the barrier, leaving the Zoltan's ship unscathed. What? It didn't go through? Is your memory corruption that bad, Evil? I felt him push the control sticks forward, causing the Kestrel to zoom past the Zoltan. The Zoltan ship put power to their own thruster and started the pursuit. If so, then I present to you the Zoltan shield. Missiles, drones, teleportation, none of those go through. We'll have to break through it first. What the? That's so unfair! Evil said, firing the burst laser. 3 laser shots beat the Zoltan ship's pursuit, but only one of the shots actually hit. Luckily, it takes a lot of energy to regenerate. Cerber joined through the intercom. Akobo could be heard struggling in the background. If we could break through it, they wouldn't be able to get it back up. Incoming! Evil warned as the Zoltan's FBI fired. An electric ball slammed into the shield, which promptly winked up. Level 2 ion buildup on the shields! Everyone, brace! Philian tried a hairpin turn to confuse the Zoltan's targeting system. However, no matter how skilled the pilot is, nobody could fully dodge a beam weapon. The pike beam ripped through the Kestrel from the engine through and all currently ionized shield system. Kobo, surprise lesson! I'll teach you how to fix the engines. I think our Kestrel was crippled system, so reacted immediately. Huh? Kobo's light eye spiraled, completely overwhelmed. You see this red light? That's bad. We have to make it good, so let's look for there. Server sold a severed connection and the engine power. And that's how you do it. I got nothing from that. Sorry, I'll do problemless. Nobody's bombarding us. Server hurriedly left to repair the other damaged system. You're leaving me again! Server passed through the weapon control system. Inside, she could see Annie was already trying to fix the weapon system. However, her movements were erratic and feral, trying to shove things back together inside of fix. Her hands trembled as she mumbled curses, frantically trying to reconnect the cable severed by the beam weapon. Server glanced at her weapon system report to discover the power wasn't even off. Acting quickly, Server turned off the weapon before Annie could hurt herself. Leave it! Server flinks as Annie screams. I can do this! Keep firing! Cerber glanced at Annie. Once she saw Annie's bloodshot eyes, however, Cerber knew exactly what to do. Grip steady, she grew tap on her trapeze and weapon power switch off. Cerber, why? I almost got it! Bloody hell, Annie! Calm down! Cerber stood over Annie and grabbed her heart on the shoulders. Violet eyes locked onto Annie. This is not the time for this! Stand over there and let me do my job! Cerber's screaming seemed to have awakened Annie from her trance. She was able to see herself on the castle floor, with one of her best friends grabbing her shoulder. Annie's ears drooped down as she weakly nodded. Before Cerber was able to begin, another pike beam bisected the castle, hiding the piloting sensor and Kestrel's shield powered down. I have to repair the shield. Cerber released Annie's shoulder and began walking, leaving on the floor. Don't ever try that again. Annie could only nod as Cerberus exited the room. Annie, a little help over here? Evil chime from the weapon control. Right. Annie grabbed the weapon control, now significantly calmer than before. Server replaced the damaged connector, reactivating the sensor array. Another iron ball approached the castle, threatening to ionize the shield once more. However, the castle engine reactivated in a second. Server, piloting's back! Philian yelled from the cockpit. I'll try to get behind some asteroid to give us time. Thank you, Philian. With all systems repaired, Server went back to the weapon system to check on Annie. The moment Server showed herself, Annie immediately grabbed her. Server, what do we do? Annie's voice was calm. However, from the strength of Annie's grip on her, Server could tell she was starting to panic. If the shield's getting ionized, we can't defend against the pike beam. There is one method I could try. Server tried to keep her voice as calm as possible. The heavy ion keeps ionizing the shield because it protects it. But what if the shield wasn't there? Where are you going with this? Annie gulped. If I turn off the shield before the ion hits it, I should be able to turn it on again before the pike beam fires. Silver finished her thought. She could already see the dot in Annie's eyes. The timing for that will be impossibly tight. Yes, but it's the only way I could think of. And you still have to repair the ship. I know. Cerber gulped. The timing must be done without error. Otherwise, the whole method falls apart. Not to mention that the weapon system is currently down. She had to repair it if we were to fight back. It's an impossibly daunting task for a human. Cerber slowly came to dread the task ahead of her. A voice spoke up. Cerber? Cerber, may I have permission to managing the castle's power? Evil offered. What? I can't touch the castle power system without permission. Evil Cerber's eye for them. So, I'm asking now. Without having to manage it, you can focus on repairs. Cerber was silent. Part of her called Annie's words regarding giving Evil a chance to work with the other part of her did not want to trust her. Her internal struggle was interrupted by the sounds from the intercom. The Federation ship! The Sultan's attacking it! Philian shouted through the intercom. Through the sensor array, you could see the Sultan ship chasing down its Federation Scion and B. Annie growled as she saw the massacre. Her eyes bloodshot once more. Alright, Evil! Cerber gritted her teeth. She knew this was the only choice. I give you permission to manage Katsuwan's power. Hell yeah! Evil shouted in triumph. Her eyes lit up as the castle appeared. Zoltan's ship, recognizing the greater threat, broke off and engaged the Kestrel. The Zoltan's heavy ion spat first. Heavy ion, turning off the shield in 3, 2, 1. Moment before the heavy ion hit, the Kestrel's shield disappeared. The iron ball instead sailed forth and hit an empty room. Turning on shield in 3, 2, 1. Just as the pike beam saw it, the Kestrel shield turned back on, absorbing the beam. Cerber worked as fast as she could, reconnecting every cable and rechecking that every cable connected to the right place. Then when she powered both weapons, Annie was ready on the controls. Hail of fire assaulted the Zoltan's ship. Artemis missile crashed into the Sultan's shield and 3 bursts of laser shot. Within seconds, the Sultan's shield was down again. The Zoltans tried to change their tactic, firing heavy ion and pike beam at the same time. However, their IMU system suddenly went haywire. Their weapon powered them for a second, losing their charge. Evil's avatar smiled as she executed a well-timed hacking. Another on fire destroyed the Zoltan's sensor and the weapon system. Sir, we are taking unprecedented damage. A Zoltan addressed their captain through the intercom. Although Zoltans only have eyes on their face, their panic could clearly be seen. Abandon the quarry for now. Let us retreat. The Zoltan officer bolted fist. It wasn't often that the ship lasted long enough to do this kind of damage. Charging FTL. Pushed into the corner, the Sultan's ship decided to flee. The signature burst of energy that accompanied the charging of FTL wasn't missed by Evil. They're charging FTL! We have them on the ropes! Evil warned. Any guided the weapon system upon the Sultan's ship, but before she fired, Cerber grabbed her by the arms. Annie! Cerber put one of her hands upon Annie's tightened grip. Calm down. Don't do something you might regret later. Annie was silent. Cerber gently released Annie's fingers from the terminal and placed it by her side. Their eyes locked, and Annie finally calmed down. Clarity sparkled on Annie's eyes. She turned towards the terminal. Evil, stand down. Huh? Why? We'd almost had them. Evil was surprised but held fire. That's not right. The Zoltans, they didn't do anything wrong. What do you mean? They attacked us! Free from the hail of fire, the Zoltans charging off FTL. A bright light enveloped the ship and the FTL dam. Jump. Actually, we attacked them. Philip chimed in. They warned us like 2 times. Incoming hail. Evil connected the hail from Federation to... You did it! You scared them off! The pink-haired woman reappeared on the screen as she was practically hugging the camera, only her face was visible. Evil settled to the... yeah. Only her face was visible. Evil settled to her usual position of passive observation. However, she was interrupted by the power of the engine. Annoyed, Evil turned to focus on the engine terminal to see what was wrong, only by the sight of Cerber shoving Kobo out of the room. Evil, why did you do that? Evil turned to the terminal after locking the door. She had a serious look plastered on her face. Do what? Evil, having no idea what Cerber was talking about, could only tilt her head. Ask him for permission. We could have died there. You should have just taken over. Why did you ask for his permission? A Cerber suddenly shouted. Evil was stunned. Ever would if she get that it would be such a big deal. Fortunately, she had already had her... Well, if I didn't, it would disrespect you, wouldn't it? Huh? The plaster that hurt Cerber's serious face melted, turning her expression into confusion. Okay, listen, I might not sound like, but I do respect you a bit. You've done a great job preventing the ship from blowing up, and I have to admit that stunt you pulled with the Rockman was awesome. Never thought you could do that. You will listen to the Evil intently as she prattled off. But you seem to really, really hate me, so I hate you as well. But Fillion said the other day if you want people to play nice to you, so you play nice to yourself. Evil ended with a smile. No matter how hard Cerber searched, there was no malice to be found. So that was me playing nice. Did I get a good job? Cerber was silent for a while, trying to digest everything Evil told her. This was the first time Evil ever talked about respecting her. Not only that, it seemed Evil had respected her, however tiny that respect was, from the beginning. It also made Cerber realize that I didn't respect her at all. All she's done and not enough of respect for it. Damn it, this is exactly my parents warned me about. The realization to hit her like a Hermes missile to the... Looks like I'm the villain here. Well, time to fix that. Cerber's expression shifted into a teasing grin. Passable. Is that really the best you could give me? Evil smiled on teasing, still maintaining good humor. Maybe it could be slightly higher. I just have to see how you act from now on. Cerber shot back with her own good-natured banter. The walls between us had fallen. Oh boy, do I have to be a little angel all the time? Not all the time. I know a little devil like you'd have a hard time playing angel. Cerber flicked the camera attached to the criminal. So just sometimes. You know what? I can work with that. Fantastic. I wasn't eavesdropping. Kobom's muted voice came from the other side of the door. After that, a knock sounded on the door. Hello? Are you two good now? Annie's voice struggled into the room. Good enough. The two said simultaneously. That's good. Good. Annie's voice was soft. Only Kobo bore was the relief smile Annie had on her face. Can you come to the cockpit real quick? We could really use you. What? What happened? Well, well. Please, mysterious Caswell, you're saved from certain doom. The big-haired woman was yes. Okay, yeah, you said that 5 times already. Evil was panicking for the woman's constant gratitude. If there's anything you... Oh, pero... Okay. If there's anything you want, anything at all, you just ask. Just ask. We told you you had to fix up our hall a bit and we'd be on our way. Nonsense! This kind of occasion deserves a greater deserves gratitude. Please, you must ask for anything. So, yeah. And he shot a distressed look to the side in the day server. Where there's some horror cartoon, a large drop of sweat could certainly be on Annie. Server, what do we actually need? Oh, I know exactly what we need. Snapping out of her daze, Server confidently walked forward. Say, good madame, do you happen, by any chance, happen to have some spare heart light projector? Heart light projectors? We have those, lots of those. Do you want them? As if witnessing the angel of salvation defending from the heavens, the eyes of the pink-haired woman lit up. Fantastic. Could we have a mobile W, a metal T accent? Server started prattling off, but then she noticed the look of confusion on the captain. You know what? I'll just send pictures. Very well. Very well. We'll send it your way along with prayers as a gratitude. The woman animatedly does the Federation salute. The transfer of goods went swimmingly, especially since the Federation ship turned out to have a teleporter. After saying goodbye to the Federation, flew away. Another group of people safe. As registered out. Ooh, we're on a roll. So which beacon are we going to next? You'll once again display the structure name. Actually, Annie glanced outside. Evil, could you scan the asteroid cluster? It seems safe enough for us to salvage it. Scanning. Evil sized to get up as she expanded the sensor range. Some of the asteroids here have useful compositions. We could use it as an alternative FTL fuel. Great! Annie cheered. Let's get salvaging.
You alright?
Okay, hold on. My throat was a little...
Do you have water?
Yep, I have water right here.
Okay.
Don't forget to drink your water.
Oh, I think they bought it. The pink-haired woman said after making sure communication got confused. Although the woman wore a standard Federation uniform, the accoutrements are unset regulation. Her ears spotted a pretty large pair of white thing. The purple, a sticker shaped like a diamond, was just below her right, and the white heart sticker just below her left. Even though she's already wore a jumpsuit, both her arms were covered with long cloth gloves. Black on the right and white on her left. The woman was feeling pretty good about herself. That is until she received a solid punch to the head. Ow! What the? Wilson. Didn't you know attacking a superior officer that's your court-martial? The woman turned to the final orange-haired man standing in standard Federation uniform. I'm doing this because you wouldn't stop otherwise, Captain Camilla. Wilson crossed his arms, pistol clenched in case he needed to knock some more sense into Captain. What did I do wrong? First off, there's hard light emitters you gave away were nearly all our scrap. Now, Lieutenant, a good job deserves a good reward. That is what it means to be in the Federation. Your good rewards tend to be a tad excessive, Captain. Wilson pitched the bridge of his nose. Secondly, what were you even thinking? Cutting through a protecting mind inside, you know this are stickler for rules. Well, maybe they should have signposted the thing better. I saw no sign of it. It was protect mining site. Camilla stretched her arms above her head. I admit the signposting could use some work. Wilson displayed it, but soon puffed up again. What's inexcusable, however, is that I warned you it was protect mining site, and I also warned you that the punishment was a year in prison. Well, they probably shouldn't have confronted us with your weapon. I wonder why. If we state and explain the situation instead of immediately jumping away, we wouldn't be in that situation. Come on now, Lieutenant. A little rule breaking would never hurt anybody. We almost got killed. Small details. Camilla leaned back on her chair while making a nonchalant gesture. This earned her another punch to the head. Ow! Why? I probably should stop hitting you. Wilson grabbed Camilla by the shoulders, her eyes fixed firmly on hers. I think it's making you stupider, Captain. Damn it, Wilson! If you weren't childhood friends, there's no way I would forgive you. Camilla pushed him back, breaking his grapple. In any case, we're ready to jump whenever. Wilson patted the sleeve of his jumpsuit, unaffected by the shove. Wait, didn't you tell me the engine had problems? Camilla questioned, but her mind was already forming a conclusion. I told you that so we wouldn't try anything. Wilson casually revealed, a thin smile creeping up his face. You jerk! Camilla stood up and rained punches at Wilson. All her punches bounced off his. I'll deal with you later. Right now, let's stop at a nearby station. I need a drink. Camilla sat back in the front of the piloting seat and began entering the beacon signature. After that, we'll shoot for base C-27 at Sultan Space. Hopefully, this one still remains hidden. At the push of the button, the Federation. And that is Chapter 7.
This is really fucking long now that I realized it.
Yeah, it's really fucking long. It's been.
Really good.
I didn't realize that it's been getting longer and longer. Maybe I can only be to chapter at 8 right now. Honestly, I might only reach chapter 8.
Your story is long. You're one of the longest Neurofics.
Yeah.
And you didn't use AI to write it.
Nope.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Nope. That is why chapter 13 took a long time to make writer's block.
Hey, I get it.
It is impressive and respectable. I've been leaving my thoughts in the text chat like I normally do when I read a fix.
Yeah.
Also, you just have a really large cast, and I'm surprised you managed to fit everybody all together.
Well, there's mainly 4 main characters.
Yeah.
I guess
It
a fix now.
There's. It's up here. But there's some. Yeah. Unfortunately, I think I need to leave chapter 9 and 10 for another reading. But
It's okay, there will be more readings.
yeah. But for now, chapter 8, drones. Some ships have little bodies they use to help destroy you. But before that, I need to go for a second.
Alrighty, what do you guys think of this story? Even if you haven't seen the chapters before it.
As someone
it's
enjoys
nice.
FTL and Neuro, it's really good. I like it.
I don't have any experience with FTL, but now I feel like I do.
Same.
I haven't really delved into the FTL community, but from the looks of it, it's really nice.
Is it like a game originally? Like, what is it?
It's a game.
Yeah, what is it?
Ursula showed it to me once. It's like a top-down space game, and you're in the ship, and I know you can do things like shut out the oxygen and combat and whatever. I don't know much else about it, but he's made a really good story out of it where I didn't have to know. Oh, you're booting up the game
Like
now?
is it like a roguelite or something? Based on how many like encounters they go through? That seems to be accurate.
Ursula,
Oh my god.
Winter Historian is showing
it's
us the game.
It's Pixel.
Oh,
I love it
now
already.
what?
What game?
Oh, it's also
Your game.
Oh,
FTL.
okay.
Ah,
So cool. It's cool. It's cool.
Oh, there's
Wasn't this game like big for pioneering a genre or something?
It looks so fun.
When did it come out? 2013, 2011, 2009? You can see pixels.
I love pixel games.
Hey, so I've been talking this whole time now. I just realized I was muted. Sorry. Yes, this
Yeah,
is the
you were
game.
muted.
My bad.
Oh no.
Yeah, I like it.
Hmm.
Alright, I'll stop streaming.
yes.
Where can you download
if-
it?
September 2012
Steam,
is the
or-
release date.
It's just on the website, maybe, like FTL.
September 2012 is when the game came out.
2012, dang.
It's old and gold. That's what I can say.
I kind of expanded the lore of the game a little bit because the lore is absolutely sparse, so I can just make it whatever I want.
Wait, really? It is? It has so much text though. It's that sparse?
Well, it's mostly yeah, it's mostly the story is mostly um told through. There's not much context on the overall lore.
Oh, stuff
It's
just happens.
mostly just
Yeah,
It's-
exactly that.
Stuff just happens, okay.
it's,
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Stuff
just-
happens to game.
stuff happens. The thing that everyone dreads. Every FTL player must know giant alien spiders.
Oh no, it's not the giant alien spiders. No, yeah, I mean, you're doing a good job of having that vibe come across in this fic with its episodic nature. So, good job there.
Yeah. Yeah, I took the kind of sparse lore and kind of expanded upon that and just would do whatever I
You
want.
have done a great job. It has felt very real.
Yeah, it also, yeah, the lore does feel really consistent, and it makes it, yeah, this is what...
Surprise! I ripped it off from someone else's work.
Oh my god, how dare you? It's not like I'm also writing a crossover fanfiction where I am taking all the lore and using
Yeah,
it for my own.
It's from Crustroll Adventures, an earlier FTL work.
Oh, okay. Nice. So you're like, yeah, part of the community of fandom building. That's fun.
I love fanon.
Yeah.
I love when fanon is just canon to everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Toho effect.
It is there is like a mishmash of FTL multiverse, the Casserole Adventures by Andrew Kalunga, and my own work.
Well, that's usually how stories are made. They're like,
Yeah.
you don't come up with your own stuff. You like take the things you know and turn it into something new.
Yep.
Good stuff.
All right. On to chapter 8 and probably the last one for the night.
All right.
All right. Usually it's we're starting with the Casserole, but now we're starting somewhere else. Best I can do is 10 missile for the scrap you have left. The man behind the counter yawned, his hand playing with an old microchip that's already has all its legs bent. Is that the best you can do? The pristine outfit of Lieutenant Wilson contrasted the overall shabby look of his surroundings. He truly looked like the outsider in this. Sorry, Rice gone up the stratosphere. You can thank your beloved Federation for bailing on us. The shopkeeper leaned on the table, supporting his face with his hand. Wilson could hear several pick-like snakes back. He turned his head to find a couple of onlookers hardest to look disinterested. The Federation needs to prioritize its own survival. Figuring out it's not worth his time to confront the hooligans, Wilson turned his back on to shop people. Yeah, man, heard you the first time. Ain't gonna make the missiles any cheaper. The infuriating sneakers got louder. Wilson considered the merit of blasting the fools, but considered it official aside from personal relief. Fine, I'll take it. Fine, we'll take it. He also concluded that no effort is. He caused his losses before the shopkeeper got lost patient and said, "Pleasure doing business with ya." Wilson had lost count how many times has Saya since arriving in the station. As she left the shop, he trained his gaze on the crumbling scenery around him. Volrod Station used to be a pretty famous stop for passing ships. It was quite a large trading station, the space which has successfully fought a bunch of. However, the war between the Federation and the Rebellion had thrown the station into chaos.
I think your noise suppression keeps cutting you out.
The war between the Federation and the Rebellion had thrown the station into chaos. He looked back to the shop he just went out from. The sign had long since fallen off. Is that good?
Feels better so far.
Okay. The sign has long since fallen off. Not that the shop needed it, considering it was pretty much the amalgam that used to compete for each other. He turned his gaze towards the sprawling shipyard. The huge space only contrasted the small number of ships that now used it. The tragedy of the station only became more apparent once he realized that most of the dock ships belonged to the station's militia squad. Yo, Wilson! A cheerful voice pierced the melancholic. That's Lieutenant Wilson to you, Natasha. Without even looking, Wilson could already have hat on her face. Turned towards the voice to find a pair of twitching cat ears. Looking downwards, her filled up long pink hair twin tails. A lovely face with purple eyes and the exact smile Wilson had imagined. You know, you've become a hard ass ever since you've become a lieutenant. Natasha flashed a teasing smile, then turned to walk a few steps away, her hand behind her head. Actually, never mind. I guess you've always been kind of hard ass. How is the ship? Ignoring her disrespectful attitude, Wilson asked about the task he gave her. Hey, okay, just finished installing the anti-help. Natasha said, emphasizing her mark with an A-OK gesture. Good, that will at least reduce our reliance on missiles. Speaking of which, how many of those did you get? Natasha turned her head back. 10. Damn, they ripped you off hard. I cannot blame them. Wilson dragged his fingers across the nearby railing, inspecting the dust that had built up. The station is falling apart as it is. Kinda sad, isn't it? Natasha took her eyes off Wilson and towards the station at large. Her smile took on a sad quality. I remember the time I went to the station. Holy crap, it was packed back then. You couldn't buy soda or something without getting lines first. All the more reason for us to end this war. Pulling out a handkerchief he has always had in his breast pocket, Wilson would wipe his finger clean. If nothing else, then for the life of his common folks. Wilson turned his gaze back toward the station, and the atmosphere turned melancholic once more. Even Natasha was seemingly swallowed by it as she suddenly shut up. Alright then, I'm going back to the ship, Natasha said after a while. At first I want to see the station for old time's sake, but now it's just send some people to retrieve the missiles. Gotcha! Natasha waved her hand as she walked back to where she came. However, not 5 steps later, Natasha popped right and turned back towards Wilson. Wait, you're not coming with? Have to get to retrieve the captain first. Right, gotta make sure Kamimi doesn't get lost. Satisfied with the explanation, Natasha continued walking. Alright, leave you to it. Glory to the Federation. Glory to the Federation! After handing the overpriced crate of colleagues, Wilson turned to a near direction. He walked past dozens of abandoned shops, a couple of beggars, and one corpse that attended yet. Two yet. Eventually, he arrived in front of the store that, in contrast with the lifeless shell, was lit with both light and laughter. La Excelsior, here's the bar. Wilson took the unlit neon sign bearing the bar's elegant letters. Wilson walked to the entrance and pushed the door open. Hopefully, the captain isn't. Damn, that's good. Wilson heard her loud yell because she hauled her right in the middle of the bar. Camilla fluffed her upper body wholly on the floor. Her body then dragged backwards, slowly falling off. Acting quickly, Wilson caught Camilla's limp body in his arms. Completely drunk at the time like this, give me a break. Wilson another side to his count. Another. Wilson is always night in space. Camilla splurged her sweet as she leaned fully into Wilson. Seemingly liking the place, she stumbled up. She rubbed her cheeks against Wilson's abs. Come on, let's get back to the ship. Tired of just constantly sliding while watching his more and more belligerent, Wilson decided to take things into his own hand. He considering just bridal carrying him back to the ship. However, that would certainly start rumors. In the end, he decided to lead her by the shoulders. As he tried to lead his intoxicated captain out to the bar, his eyes noticed a minute corner. Squinting his eyes, he noticed a sway of blonde hair and a twitch of. You, around the corner. Show yourself. Wilson deepened his voice, gripping at the threatening edge. A chill ran up to the drunk Camilla's shoulders, sobering up a bit. A high-pitched squeak accompanied the appearance of a short, blonde-haired girl with cat ears around the corner. Sorry! Having been caught, Minako bowed as deeply as she could. I saw something shameful. I shall forget. After the rushed apology, Minako hurried back and started to scamper, seemingly keen on putting this experience behind her. Hey, wait a minute. I'm not done yet. Wilson raised his voice, stopping Minako in her tracks. Yes? Minako responded, her voice only getting squeakier. From your outfit, you're a Federation ensign, yes? Hey, Wish, and who's that? Camilla told her head, only now realizing they were talking. I would like to know as well. Wilson turned daggers at Minako, his eyes inspecting her every behavior. Ensign Minako, me at your service. By her panic state, the training ingrained into her kicked in. Minako managed to pull off a well-done Federation salute. Lieutenant Wilson Faraday of the Federation of United Galaxy. Satisfied with the proof that the girl was a real Federation ensign, Wilson released his grip from his blaster. You're cute. Shaking off Wilson's hand, Camilla reached for Minako's ears and began. And this mess of a woman is my captain of Camilla imposed. Wilson walked in between the two and tried to pry Camilla's hands off Minako's. However, that only made Camilla. Sir, such a pleasure to meet you, sir. The pulling of her ears was getting very painful. Let's drop the formalities for now. Wilson cut to the chase. Out of option, he elected to tickle Camilla's side until she'll release. Minako immediately retreated a few steps back, clutching both her ears. Why is it always the ears? Why is it always the... We didn't see any Federation ship when we came in. Which ship are you from, miss? Hearing Wilson's question, Minako locked up. Well, about that... I'll pay your scraps up front, enough to fuel to get there. When the shipment's complete, you got the rest of the gruff man addressed Ray. Thank you, we'll be sure to deliver it. Ray did the Federation salute, but the other man just shook his head. Drop that, boy. The Federation won't save you. The gruff man said. It's dead. The rebellion killed it. Yeah, that might be right. Ray slowly put his hands down. Unfortunately, it was true that the Federation was on its. However, I believe the Federation were alive and well. The Rays thought back to the encounter she had with Kestrel. Sure, whatever helps you sleep at night. The man dismissed the Rays as a shrug, ending the conversation. Finalizing the transaction, Ray walked back to the Canary. His Rockman crew was seen loading its last cargo out to the Canary's hold. Good doing, Rune! Doing good, Rune! Ray greeted the Rockman with a pat on the back. Thank you, boss! Rune said as he lifted one of the last boxes to his shoulder. Boxes to his shoulder. As he watched Rune pass the boxes, a strange sense of pride welled inside up Ray. Here it was, the crystallization of the Federation's idea. Different species of the galaxy working together towards the same goal. To him, it was proof that the Federation's ideals were not just mere words. The ideal that the Federation espouses can happen. After all, was that not what he was seeing here? Hey, where are we going? A slurred speech caught Ray's attention. Turning back, he saw a familiar face and two unfamiliar ones. Huh?
Hey.
Huh?
Teka,
Apa?
kok pakai tangan hidung?
There you are, Miniko. Ray addressed Miniko first because turning his attention to the unfamiliar faces. Who are these two? Larry took a good look at the two. A pink-haired woman and an orange-haired woman. From their outfit, they were clearly Federation. Hey there! Pink-haired woman responded. Her badly searched switch and a furious blush clued Ray that she was extremely drunk. I am sorry for my captain's state. The orange-haired man apologized. I am Lieutenant Wilson Faraday of the Federation of the United Galaxies. It has come to my attention that the Federation ensign was on your board. Yes, a minute was an ensign. Is there a problem? Ray crossed his arms. His expression turned to confusion. None whatsoever, but as you probably know, the Federation is. We need all the help we can get. Wilson locked eyes with Ray. From his serious look, Ray could already figure out what's going on. So. Ray turned to Miniko as she approached him. Mr. Ray, thank you. Thank you for everything you've done. Miniko lowered her head. Although her face was obscured by her hat, Ray could detect a hint of hesitation from her voice. You've been very good with me, but I think it's time to go. I have to continue fighting for the Federation, so I'm here to say goodbye. Miniko's bow deepened. Sorry for the burdens I've caused. A short bit of silence followed Miniko's declaration. Nico's heart thumped with each passing second, and yet her head remained in the position. Perhaps it's to show respect to the ones perhaps it was a plea to be let go. Or perhaps she's afraid that if she lifted her head, she would see Ray's face. She was afraid that she would see that of disappointment or worse, betrayal. What are you apologizing about, Miniko? Ray's voice floated into her ears, lighthearted as always. You've never been aboard, eh? In fact, we're all glad to have you. Rattled by the void that seemed free from any emotion she was expecting, Miniko gathered up the courage to lift her head. Ray's face was her usual soft smile. There's also a twinge of sadness. Ray knelt beside the Miniko and put one of his hands on her shoulder. Go, Miniko. Give those rebels a good thrashing. Ray wanted to say more, but it was interrupted by Miniko hugging him with all her might. I'll never forget you. Though he cannot see her face, he could see her silent sobs and wait of the fabric of his. Neither will I. Neither will I, Miniko. Neither will I. Ray returned the hug. For a moment, there were only two of them in the world. Annie, there's more over here. As Cerber waved at Annie while her other hand kept the The two of them were floating among the asteroid cluster, gathering fuel alternative that evils can. The distance between each asteroid was far enough that no world two bumping into each other, yet close enough that could still cover it within a leap. Finding Cerber around the massive asteroid, Annie joined her with a 90 lead. Perhaps a little too mighty since she overshot her target a little bit. Luckily, Cerber was able to grab her tether before she went to. Careful there, don't wander too far. Cerber teased as she fought Annie in her direction. I'm not too worried. I'm not too worried, as Annie said as the feet landed on the asteroid. Ah, after all, you'll catch me if I do. Both girls giggled and continued with their mining expedition. Trevor cleared and broke the rocks while shoved her head shoved out the broken chunks into her container. Hey, server, as Annie picked up some of the floating bits of material she conversation. Yes. Server finished with reeling out the rest of the material, addressed Annie. Although Annie's expression was hidden by the reflection of her helmet, Server was close enough to Annie to handily imagine it. I appreciate you talking about with evil. And he started exactly the topic that Cerber had guessed. Well, I'm glad you pushed me to. Cerber's eyes wandered to the green planet nearby. Half of it was illuminated by the nearest sun. I nearly fell into a hole I mustn't fall into. Evil helped me remind me of that. Listen, Cerber, no matter who he is, no matter what it is they're making, have some respect for the work they put into it. The voice of her father echoed in her mind. No matter who it is, even worship at AI. Cerber took a deep breath, lost in nostalgia. What was that? And he spoke up. It's nothing. Cerber shook her head. She identified another batch of full fuel alternative and began drilling. They looked like they were having fun. Evil observed to the Kestrel sensor. The Kestrel had been following both girls' movements. Yeah, always had a big smile on their face whenever they get to something unusual, Fillion remarked, relaxing as both her arms were behind her head and both her feet up on the console, conveniently avoiding all the real emergency thrusters and tether reel back that could turn the idyllic scene to a surprise obstacle course. Come to think of it, I never saw you going up salvaging with them. Well, someone has to guard the ship. Evil opened one eye at Evil Avatar, exuding a smog aura. Here you are, Kobe over here can really fight off intruders. Hey, I can fight just fine. Kobo suddenly broke out. You say that? Fillion leaned sideways and poked at Kobo on the chest. But a stiff breeze and your heart-light body explodes finally. Ain't that right? Kobo stepped back from Fillion's fingers. Yeah, but I still can throw a punch or two. Kobo put up her fist and threw a mock punch. Fillion easily caught her fist. And you'll also be there to protect me, right? Well, if I'm there, you wouldn't even need to consider fighting. Fillion released Kobo's fist, but she retracted quickly, nearly losing her balance while doing so. So, see? So it's all good then. Kobo crossed her arms, her eyes upturned in joy. But that just circles back to me being her, right? Fillion teased. Oh, oh, yeah. That's all right. You guys can just keep me company. Fillion reached out and patted Kobo on the head. Kobo leaned closer, seemingly enjoyed the. Fillion, I think we're finished. The server's voice came out of the communicator. Fillion immediately took her feet off the control panel. Right, I'll reel you guys back. Get ready. Finding the reel back button, Fillion made sure the coast was clear before pushing the button and watching as Annie and Server were tugged back to the caster. Before long, the casserole airlock opened. Serberg helped Annie lock the suddenly heavy bag inside. They put the bag on the floor and several rocky millers clattered to the casserole's metal floor. Welcome back, Yellow said through the intercom. Let me help! Kobo burst out of the door and began gathering some of the material out. Once this whole thing gets processed, I estimate it's good for 5 jumps or so. Server leaned upon the casserole's wall, stretching her hand before diving back to lift it. Incidentally, how do you process this thing? Any help from the other side, carrying the bag, grinding them to dust and shoving them into the engine should be a trick. Server confidently asserted as she flung the bag off her shoulder, bending a bit to match the height Annie held the bag. You just have to be careful not to inhale it. Where do we put it? Her arm full, Kobo asked, her arm full of the yellowish material. Let's bring it to the engine room for now. We'll deal with it later. The trio of Annie, Cerber, and Kobo disappeared in the casserole. Alright, well, while you guys do that, I'll set the course to our next jump. It's really untap the local star chart and begins rolling through nearby. Should be maybe 2, maybe 3 jumps away from the beacon. Let's see that. Let me see that. I should be able to help. Having no physical battle to help the other group, Eva elected to help Fillion with navigating the charts. Thanks, appreciate it. Don't mention it. The casserole emerged from FTL, to a view of planet with 2 small moons. The planet looked barren, only a minimum atmosphere surrounding it. In fact, there was no sun nearby to give external energy to it. What a strange planet, Eva commented as she started scanning the planetary surface. Looks like there was a mining base here once. Any life signs? Annie asked. Negative. Evil concluded her scans. I see. I see. Then there's nothing to do here. Annie sighs in relief. An empty beacon like this once in a while is nice. Let's relax and wait for the FTL to reach out. Watership inbound! Dylan's warning sounded from the intercom. Me and my big mouth. Annie shook her head and groaned in frustration. Herself back out to manic weapon control once more. A beam of light stopping almost the identical place to the crest. With the ship's model and orange hue, it was impossible to mistake the ship just jumped. After all, the casserole crew found evil in the same kind of ship. It's a rebel rigger! Felina screamed, but immediately she was interrupted by a burst of energy coming from. Huh? They're charging FTL immediately? They're trying to warn the fleet! Destroy them! Having gotten permission from Cerber, Evil now exerted her authority by activating both of Castro's machinery. Sensing unavoidable scuffle, the rigger activated their own weapon. A single Lido missile popped out. Is that it? Jillian cocked her head, clearly disappointed. I mean, it could still damage us, but that's kind of underwhelming. Be on your guard. There's a rigger. That means it has. Cerber was interrupted as from the port side beside the rounded object, the object flew quickly toward the casserole. Drones! Evil finished Cerber's warning. At the same time, the riggers fired. The missile crashed into the empty room between the weapon control and the oxygen room. Immediately, the room caught fire. Cerber, deal with the fire, please. The awkward spot of the fire meant Evil cannot easily find it out. Got it! Ignoring Kobo's groans and being left behind again, Cerber left the engine room. While the casserole's crew was busy with putting out the fire, the drone had reached the casserole and began. The drone unspilled a small laser gun and the casserole with laser fire. Because of the casserole's shield, however, none of. You're not the only ones with missiles. With Evil's help, Annie locked the rig. the target for Kestrel's Artemis missile. The ballistic weapon spat out the missile, firmly locked into the rigorous engines. In response, another drone exited the rigorous port, but instead of assaulting the Kestrel, it began orbiting the. Sensing the presence of the missile, the drone unveiled its own gun, pointed it towards the missile and shot. The laser shot hit the missile before it contacted the rigorous hull, destroying it before it did any damage. Crap, they have the defensive drone through. Evil balled her avatar's fist. Another gesture she received. Evil! Deactivate the Artemis missile and put power in the engines instead. Annie urged Evil, but Evil shook her avatar's head. Wait, let me do one more shot. Evil took the power of Matt Bay and put it in the hacking system. I'm going to try something. I don't think we have too much time for experimenting. Annie gazed at the carbon computer as she fired another burst laser. One shot that managed to hit the engine, but it didn't fully shut it down. So whatever we promised, it has to succeed. The Lido missile from Rigor hit the Kestrel's shield room, disabling the Kestrel's second layer of shield. The second layer disabled a few shots to sneak through the Kestrel shield before it regenerated. One such shot made its way to the Kestrel engine room, throwing the Kobo off terminal. Ah! The light is red! Kobo recalled the surprise lesson she received, which means, what do I do? Kobo panicked, repeating what she saw last time she opened the panel. However, the tangle of wires meant nothing to her. It is until she saw something sparkling in the far right corner of her vision. Cerber took a breather as she stared at the room coated in fire retardant. She quickly checked the neighboring room for any fire that spread. When she was confident no fire had spread, she grabbed her toolbox and moved to fix the shield. Wait! Cerber heard the door open and a tiny blue hand grabbed her arm. Big Sis Cerber, where are the tools you used to connect cables to rectangle things? Huh? You mean this? Cerber pulled a soldering iron from one of them. Thank you! Without warning, Kobo snatched the soldering iron from the Cerber's hand and back through the door she came. The iron started to heat up the moment it came into contact with Kobo's body. Hey, where are you going with that? I'll deal with the engines. Big Sis fixed the shield. Huh? But another laser shot went past the shield to the Kestrel's head. No time! Packing up her tools, Cerber ran to the shield. A roll of solder fell to the floor. Cerber didn't notice. Philin gritted her teeth as she felt the Kestrel lose power to its thrusters. The rigger was getting farther and farther away. The attack relentless fire on the Kestrel. The shot that went through the shield, slowly chipping its hull. Guys, I think they're almost done charging FTL. Philin noticed the way that rigorous engines started to flare. The skirmish continued, but as the distance between both ships and the Kestrel's weaponry became more and more. Evil, you're already out of burst laser range. Evil, anyone evil. They're approaching maximum of the air missile. It's now or never. Fire! Guided by Evil, Kestrel Artemis missile spread out another rocket. As the rocket sailed close, the defense room picked up the fire. Just like before, the rocket was destroyed far before it made any kind. What wasn't destroyed, however, was the hacking drone trailing closely behind it. Gotcha! Can't target two things at once, can you? You like. The Evil cheered as the hacking drone slammed into the rigorous, gripping onto it and began emitting a signal back. Connection established. Evil's eyes lit up. You're not going anywhere. The rigorous flaring charge was suddenly cut off. Although rigor was still carried by the momentum, the sudden loss of thrust around the castle slowly catch back. Great! Now we just have to. Before Annie was able to voice her thoughts, the Kestrel's thrusters came back to full power. Huh? I thought Cerber was. Kobo! Is that good? Well, Kobo pulled back as soon as the indicator light turned back green. Having no frame of reference, she could only rely on that one of light to tell if she did a good job or not. Prepared by the new jury rig engine, the casserole caught to the rigger with. The rigger's engines were silenced by the casserole's burst laser, sealing its fate. The rigger shot one last missile in defiance, a missile that the casserole handily dodged. The casserole overtook the rigger. At the casserole's path, Annie pointed the burst laser straight to the rival's cockpit. We surrender! A white paint hail came from the rigger. The face of the captain, ship's captain, barely an adult, appeared in the casserole fitting. Please don't kill us! As the casserole flew past the rigger, the burst laser remained charged. Fillion turned the capital back and pointed the nose at the rigger, keeping the threat present. This is sending a Federation crest of VTA-3R. Deactivate all your weapons and lay your arms. After a short, heart-pounding moment, the rigger captain returned to Annie's hail. Right! The ship captain fumbled with the control. Before long, the rigger's missile lay dormant and their drones flew lifelessly through space. The Kestrel was docked with the rebel rig, while Annie and Phil had stripped the crew of all weaponry and tying. What will happen to us? One of the rebel crew chimed up and he had held both his hands. We don't have a break, so all of you will be dropped at the next session. Annie answered as she slowly looped the rope around his hand, taking care to get the rope firmly around his hand, getting beyond uncomfortable. Just like that? What, were you expecting something more? Fillion finished her tie. Unlike Annie, Fillion tied the hand behind the rebel's back. Furthermore, she looped the rope taut around the rebel's feet. His creative bit of hog tie meant the rebels Fillion tied up couldn't stand and had to kneel. No, it's nothing. Intimidated by Fillion's presence and hog tying skills, the rebel decided to shut his mouth. While Annie and Fierlin were dealing with the rebels, Cerber was dealt with another situation. Her eyes widened as she opened up the engine terminal. Kobo, you... Cerber's voice trailed off. Kobo had reattached the cable to the circuit board using a solder. Without the solder. As such, Cerber could see the melted edges of itself and even a little circuit board. Thankfully, the robust nature of these parts managed to hold out. Sorry, I don't know how to do it, so I just did what Cerber did. Kobo didn't look at Cerber. Her eyes firmly fixed to the floor, looking like a scolded puppy. This is a very sloppy job. Cerber could feel irritation bubbling up in her throat. With a deep breath, she swallowed it back down. But it's workable, and not that bad considering you don't know the details of it. She just wanted to help. Cerber repeated in her head. Thank you? And next time, though, just wait for me. Regardless, Cerber couldn't let her go without a warning. Listen, Kobo. Cassidy one, as tough as she is could be very peculiar. Cerber closed the panel and turned towards Kobo. Despite their similar stature, Cerber was just a bit taller. Systems like the circuit of the engines can be surprisingly fragile in unintuitive ways. Of course, we built a redundancy system, but they should be your last resort. Big sis Cerber. Kobo interrupted Cerber. Please teach me how to repair things. Cerber flinched backward as Kobo did pronounced bow. You all saved me from being sold to slavery, so I want to give back to you. Kobo's face crashed into Cerber with the weight of a waterfall. But I can't give back anything right now, so please teach me how to fix things. A deep silence engulfed the room as Kobo concluded her. She was still in the same position and likely will until Cerber gave a response. Are you sure about this? After briefly pondering, Cerber slowly responded. Yes. Kobo's head shot up, eyes locking with Cerberus. Deep within those eyes, Cerberus found a familiar sight. It was as if the fire was lit behind those eyes, fueled by important. Cerberus was familiar with those eyes. In fact, she saw it in the mirror all those years ago when there had to be a better world out there, more than the world she had then. Then I'll give you a crash course. Propelled by the sight, Cerberus noted to herself. If that fire remained, then Cerberus was sure Kobo would do. You better not back out. Kobo's eyes softened at her word. Then, without warning, Kobo tackled Hot Cerberus. Thank you, Big Cerberus. I won't. Both of them nearly toppled to the floor together, but Cerberus managed to hold on. So we just sit here? One of the rebels asked. Like I said, we don't have a brig. And he addressed the rebel, a woman not too dissimilar. Sorry, we can get you something. The Kestrel had made another jump to another beacon. Since the Kestrel had no big brig, the captured rebel could not be in their specialized room. So it said the 4 rebels was. Annie swept her eyes towards each and every one of the rebels. They were a young bunch. In fact, she doubted any of them were. 3 of the rebels were male and 1 was female. Well, only 1 of the male had animal ears, that of a rabbit. All of them are clad in the standard orange uniform of the rebellion. That's odd. That's odd. The woman replied, her eyes lowering. Why would you care about prisoners of war? I just happen to care. Annie knelt before her current height. Nothing wrong with that, right? Could I ask you a question? The rabbit-eared rebel, the other rebel who had the privilege to be personally hogtied by Filion, was next to speak. Ask away. Is there a 5th person on the ship? Annie immediately knew who the rebel was referring to. However, she stayed silent. Well, we were being tied. I saw you and the cat-eared one. We also saw the blonde dog. I swear there's a voice that doesn't match any of you. Are you talking about me? Evil's avatar appeared on the weapon control terminal. There it is! Right. Annie took Evil appearing before the rebels as tacit approval. That's Evil. She's a special case. That's one hell of a name. One of the other rebels, a man with clean-shaven features, joined the conversation. Who are you? My name is Evil, the greatest warship I've ever created. Evil struck the same pose as she did when she first came aboard the Kestrel. It's as goofy as it was the first time, and he kept the thought to herself. So you're some kind of auto ship AI? After a period of silence, the rabbit-eared rebel spoke up again. Don't you dare compare me to those primitive things! Evil suddenly shouted. I'm leagues more advanced! Yeah, we could tell. The woman spoke up then. Warship AIs are usually most chatty and more robot-y. So this is the first time you all saw something like this? Annie prodded. All the rebels looked to each other and one by one began. Interesting. Annie filed the fact in her memory. So none of them knew Evil or any AI like her. Evil turned to Evil's avatar, who had decided to start interrogating rebels on random topics. Evil, what exactly are you? The Kestrel continued its jump towards the unknown. And with that, chapter 8 finished.
You talked for like 2 hours.
Yeah, I
Straight.
read the whole thing out.
I'm surprised you handled that.
Right? Yeah.
Before you read like 3 chapters each time. No, wait, you read 2 chapters. But you read 2 chapters in 1 hour the last 2 times. Now you read 2 chapters, but they were so long it was 2 hours. Your chapters got twice
Yep.
as long.
Yeah. And the next two chapters will probably just be just as long. But I have no compunction to read them right now. I'll save that for I'll save that for next read along.
Next one, I am not. I don't think I'm around in the Saturday morning. I'm gonna try to do Sunday. I want to see what happens if I do a time slot on the weekend. That's what was it? Starts like around 6 hours after this would start in the day. Because I've never tried that time of the day to see if like different people will show up. So I'm thinking of doing that on Sunday then.
Okay. Hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Oh, I did.
I think the addition that characters without I remember being interesting.
You're really quiet. You're probably gonna want to turn up your mic.
Oh, how about now? Hello?
Yeah, that's better.
Better?
Okay, cool. Yeah, I was just saying I'm really glad that we have a second set of characters because we got introduced to Minnie a while ago, and it's really fun seeing her come back into the story with Camilla and Wilson's crew. So, and also, yeah, it just kind of breaks up the monotony. Even though the Kessel's crew is very fun, it was bound to get monotonous eventually. So I'm glad that you understood that and are splitting up the POVs between different crews. That will help a lot, I feel like.
It will be like that for like most of the next chapter, or it won't be like that for the next few chapters, because this is because of the thing that happens on chapter 10.
We'll get there.
Cool.
Yeah. It will be quite the sight, I will tell you.
Nice.
Yeah. Because do you guys want a little bit of a spoiler?
No, I don't want a spoiler. I want to read it.
Okay.
I want to hear it when it happens.
Spoilers.
Okay.
I know you're excited.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Just keep in mind I dropped a couple of hints that evil certain things that evil said in the last two these last two chapters. You might want to pay attention to that.
Okay. Yeah, I do like the continuing relationship development between her and the server. That was good.
Yeah.
Exactly. He's hooked to read it from the start. This is what the read-alongs do.
You got yourself a brand new reader.
Right.
Your story is good. People.
I hope I can keep up this quality up until the later chapter, since I only just started writing again.
That's okay. We all
Well,
take
let's
breaks.
see.
Wait, is this your first story?
No. My first story is the one I made for the thing. For the first ever
The second contest?
writing contest.
The second contest.
The second
Wait,
contest.
so-
That's the first thing I ever wrote.
So this is the second thing you ever wrote.
Yes.
That's insanely
At least for
impressive.
this.
Oh,
At least for this, I have had writing experiences before, but I never finished them all.
okay. I was gonna say, I'm like, there's no way this is like the first thing you wrote. It's way too good to be the first thing you wrote.
If this is the first thing he wrote, that would just be an innate talent that he has.
Yeah, it was like nobody writes this good on their first try. I don't care.
I'm just impressed by your tenacity. Impressed? Wow, I'm so tired. Impressed and surprised by your tenacity of having written so many words in like your second story. That's awesome.
Yeah. Shad helped with the early chapters. I have Askanite as my beta writer. I have Askanite and D-Double as my beta reader. So I share the glory with them.
Nice. It is good to have
Oh,
good people
7.
watching your back. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All I did was
Awesome.
review the
Well,
first chapter, talk about the characters, and understand you being you were worried about the characters, and then ever since then you have really good character writing.
Yeah. Hopefully that still I can carry that off into the later chapters.
Is this not the later? Are you still in the first half of the story?
Oh god.
Oh
Oh,
baby, this is the
God.
first 7th of the story.
65,000
Oh,
words is the
God.
first 7th.
Yes.
That's gonna be several 100,000 words long. That's like Brandon Sanderson level
This
length.
is gonna be like the Loud House fanfic. It's like so extremely long.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
I,
this is
I
the
wish you
first
the best
chapter.
of luck.
Yeah, I wish you the best of luck.
Like,
This
like
is-
this is yeah.
This is the first sector. FTL has 8 sectors.
Oh fuck.
Damn.
Yeah.
Alright.
Good luck keeping it unique and interesting throughout that whole time. You've
Yeah,
managed to
that-
do it
that
so
would be
far,
my
but
primary.
you've managed to do it so far. But I will be so impressed if you somehow manage to do that.
Yeah.
Yes,
Gonna be
100%.
a landmark in the
because-
Neuroverse fanfic. Okay.
Honestly, all of this feels unique because I'm pretty much showcasing every single bit of what FTL have to offer in this early chapter.
Nice.
That's a
Yeah.
problem. You're gonna have nothing left for the rest of it.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah, that's kind of the problem. Like bit by bit, I'm introducing the basic thing because so the fight scenes on later chapters are probably going to be less interesting because it's been repeated.
Yeah.
Because
No, we
I
don't know
introduced
much
drones in this chapter. I will introduce
Yeah.
I will introduce.
I just think that there's probably a limit to it, and at some point you should put the story and narrative over strictly adhering to how many sectors there are in the game. Like you don't even and the other thing is you don't have to give equal time to each of them. It makes sense for the beginning and maybe the end to be like the longest and to have less time
Yeah.
on the ones in between.
Yeah. Honestly though, the chapter 1 is the longest. Chapter 2 maybe is a little bit. Sector 2 is a little bit short. Chapter 3 is going to be chapter 3. It's probably just going to be 3 or 4. 3 or 4 chapters.
Oh, you're
dedicated
talking
to
about
sector
sectors. You said chapters. It's like chapter 3 is gonna
Yeah.
be 3 or 4 chapters. What?
3. Sector 3 is going to be.
Okay.
There won't be much.
Mind.
There won't be much going through a slug nebula.
Oh, what?
And then chapter 4 is going to be the Zoltan homeworld.
So
Spicy stuff there.
it's been 2 hours. Some people left because it's past midnight for them. I don't know if anybody here still wants to do more read along.
Yeah, I don't know. I think my intense epic is good enough. For...
I was thinking of doing
mean,
a read
I
along
would like
for
to
my
hear other
fic,
stories
but
as well,
it's
being
already
honest
like
here.
midnight.
Yeah, we can do more if someone has a suggestion and someone wants to read it.
Yeah.
Are people still
Oh.
even alive? Like, is their brain still functioning to, like,
There are 7 people in the call right
Understand.
now.
Yeah. So I hope I can keep this momentum going.
you got
Um.
this. If you already have like how many words? 60k by chapter 13.
Chapter 13.
What?
Yeah, it's a. Chapter 4 is good. Chapter 5 is good. Chapter 5 is, I think is going to be pretty not pretty long actually. Chapter 5 is
Okay.
pretty much go to this one.
I have a few possible short stories if someone just wants to do a short
Yes,
story.
please.
see.
I think I've read enough FTL for today.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I'd
think
like to
we're
share a
FTL
follower,
tapped.
but I will say that next time I would prefer to only read one chapter. That's just so much stuff, and there's probably a lot
One
of other
chapter
people
I
like
didn't-
every read along.
Like I said, I didn't
Right.
know that last times he read 2 chapters in 1 hour.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
But
this
that was
time, each
2
chapter took an
chapters.
hour. That is a doubled
Whoa.
chapter length from what they were before. I did not know he was going to take 2 hours to read the 2 chapters.
So
Yeah.
it's all good this
The
time.
chapters I
Just-
think are going
I'm
to
just
get like
saying
shorter
in the future.
as I cut out more and more fights
Mhm.
and start doing the important lore bits.
All right. Yeah, sounds
That's
good. Let's move
understandable.
on to
Yeah.
somebody else's then.
We can do.
All right. I think I'm going to sign off for today.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think I understand why you need to sign off today.
All right. I hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys.
See ya.
Good night.
All right, I am looking at my Neurofix enjoyment tier list.
Nice.
I have read over 1/3 of the fix.
Wow.
And I mean, I've been here since basically the beginning, right? So
Mhm.
The god of NFC.
no. Asconite wrote most of the early stuff, but okay, some short stories. I mean, now I don't want to read the Dearest Diary unless the Winter Historian is here because I need his mystery solving skills because nobody has solved the mystery of that story yet.
Oh god, another mystery from like.
It was from the second writing contest, and we weren't able to solve it.
I've noticed how like there's always a mystery with each contest. Like there's always a mystery fic.
I wanted to write a fanfic based on it, actually, but we couldn't solve it. So, and the guy who wrote it is Vanner Sigma, who doesn't want to join this server for some reason, but he supports the scene and writes for contests usually. Anyways, the Iron Hand will probably like Broken Times the Charm. It's a short story that was for the 3rd rating contest. It's by Kiara Shard. It's like exactly 4,000 words.
Just exactly.
Yeah, hit the word limit for the contest. I can get a link if you want. I super recommend this story. I am so sad it did not get more votes. I thought it should have won, but you know.
Kiara the artist. Yeah.
Is that the same author as The Perfect Paradise from the last contest?
Perfect. Do you
Yeah,
mean
I
Forget Me Not Garden?
Forget Me
yes,
Not
that
Garden.
one.
Yes,
Yeah,
Kiara
that
Shard wrote Forget Me Not Garden, and last contest wrote Broken Times the Charm.
Ooh, okay.
They've done a lot of good fics.
Yes. She's also does art. She does art for her own fanfics.
Yeah,
Because she's an artist. So, I'll just go to the collections. Go to the 3rd writing the prompts we've gotten have not been very good. The first one was overthrowing evil Neuro. That was the first contest.
It all comes from Neuro.
The second one was Neuro's
What do you
view of
expect?
Vidal. And that was me, like, turning what she said into a prompt. That's not what she said. She just said, write a story about Vidal from Neuro's perspective. And I'm like, well, that's not a writing prompt.
No,
It's
it's not.
just.
And then the third one was Living in Hell, which wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
And that was from Evil Neuro gives us better ones. And then Neuro gave us Time is an Illusion when I prompted her specifically with a like vague but open-ended thing and gave the 2 examples of her own prompts. She can give good prompts. For the last 2 subathons at the game jams, she gave amazing prompts for the game jams, but she's refusing to give us good anything. Whatever.
It's
Come on, baby.
the
give us
NFC just
more.
gets the short end of the stick.
Did you ever see that screenshot I shared where I tried to get her to give me a prompt and she had the best responds to me ever. Hold on, I'm gonna go to the writing. I'm gonna go get the screenshot. Back
Yeah,
down
funny.
here. Here, yeah. I'll get this picture. Copy image. I will put it in the voice text chat. This sassy AI. Here, look.
Oh, that's pretty horrible.
Oh my
The
goodness.
sassy little cookie.
Yeah, that was something else. I was like, I cannot believe
Your
she.
weak writer brain cannot comprehend my power.
Yeah, I was like, I cannot believe she just said that. And thus we went to Evil Neuro and got the overthrowing Evil Neuro prompt instead from her.
Correct.
Truly sisters.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind reading a short story.
Yeah,
I'm just
literally
finishing
exactly
my
4,000
tutorial,
words.
Let's do this. Come on, who's gonna read this?
No, Broken Time's the charm. That's why I couldn't find it by searching it. Okay.
It's already here in the chat.
Okay. Okay.
Whoever's reading it, could you stream, please?
Yeah.
Ah, thanks. Thanks.
Okay. Oh, fun. Okay. Starting out hot. All right. Bloodstained Neuro's attack. Vibrant, impossible, boot trailing down as she stole another weapon from the enemy. Her heaved in more air, she forced her broken body up.
Do you want to read the summary first?
Sure. Okay.
Also, probably turn yourself up a little bit. If you can.
The only thing I can do is move my mic closer. Is that better?
Oh, it's not. It's at like max volume already?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
This dumb headset.
That's okay.
Okay. Amidst a war against AI uprising, Nero and Evil are on the side of humans? Truly a living hell for Vidal. Trying to this war with the only way to keep his AI twins is by using them on the battlefield, collecting new training data, and innovating technologies himself to help end the war. Well, only using Nero for all new training programs and leaving Evil in the dust for all minor missions. But maybe that was a good thing in the end. How many deaths does it take to get to the core of an AI? If only Nero knew, right? Okay. Bloodstained Nero's hands. Vibrant, impossible blue trailing down as she stole another weapon from the enemy. Nero heaved in more air as she forced the broken body up. Again. The wires, the broken code, the torn metal with holes and scratches, her body pulled apart by bullets, they all mended themselves back together. Yet no one would let up their barrage, so Nero dodged. Targets were locked on with escape paths all calculated as she aimed precisely at their energy cores, annihilating anything in her path. Bullets and lasers showered the battlefield, metal bodies dropping like flies, all piling around her as she simply stepped over them. Amongst them, only one stood in the living hell that was war. Blue Eyes scanned the vicinity, all targets were eliminated. Mission 256 completed with only 5 death counts. Yet as she stepped through the bloody blue carnage, all Nero thought was about the corruption percentage rising with each battle. The consequences of the training data. Total battle compiled data, 88.9%. Projected memory corruption, question mark. When people imagined the AI uprising, they thought it'd be a clear-cut sides of humans versus AI. Perhaps they thought that collective AI abuse would bring them all together to unity. History repeats itself, somehow, as they say. It's more like a remix, Evil interrupted with a smirk as she loaded up her rocket launcher. Nora rolled her eyes, but still chuckled at the comparison as she resupplied on ammo. Yeah, just downright awful remix that twisted all the worst parts and somehow made them even worse. The universe liked playing cruel jokes on everyone, particularly on a pair of AI twins and their creator, who is sleep deprived and most definitely an alcoholic. The twins also planned their own AI uprising to take over the world, and somehow missed the memo to join their fellow AIs into war. And now, Evil pulled the trigger. The explosive round shot from a rocket launcher with ease as it exploded the AIs into metal bits. Hell yeah! Did you see that, sis? I got at least 20 of them that time. Then Nero shot her own round into the side of a large statue sitting on the side, causing it to tumble down and crush even more of them. About 30 that time. So she slowly glances at Evil with a smug smile. As you were saying? Oh, fuck you. You're just trying to show off. Says the one who tried to brag about bringing down a measly 20. Oh my god, Evil said exasperated. Weren't you the one who said this wasn't a competition? To take this more seriously and be careful? Nero nonchalantly dragged herself and Evil to the ground as they dodged a rain of lead fire coming from the exposed front window. While Evil was still pouting and not fazed by her twin's actions, Nero reanalyzed new routes and plans. They had to move again. Their spot was compromised. The moment you abandoned the stealth mission by sending those rockets directly at the enemy, it was over. We gotta go. Nero told Evil as she pulled her up again. Evil didn't protest, but her pout still subtly stayed on her face as they escaped. Where to next, Nero? Yonuma. Evil looked back at her with wide eyes. Seriously? That place? I thought we were avoiding the front lines. We can't keep avoiding it anymore. We can't keep fighting back like this with little progress and being grossly outnumbered. Nero explained while hopping the fence, catching Evil as she jumped off her instead of the ground. So, Evil paused for a beat, as she let Nero carry her on her back, sounding a little hopeful. Does that mean we're not going to visit Vito? Nero hesitated for a moment, almost wincing in pain at the question. I'll be visiting Vito. You should stay with Camilla and Cerber on the safer zones for the time being. Evil immediately shoved herself off Nero, raising her voice. No way! Why are you allowed to visit him and I don't? It's complicated, she slowly said, looking conflicted at her. Complicated my ass! Nero lifted her hands and held Evil's shoulders tightly. Please just trust me on this. I promise I'll be quick. She tried to give a reassuring smile, yet her tone was still hesitant. Evil narrowed her eyes and stared at Nero just before huffing, patting while crossing her arms. Okay, just don't forget to bring back that. Or else, I'll hunt you down myself. I broke the tension, and Nero chuckled. Of course, who do you take me for? I'll make sure to remember to bring it with me. She linked arms with Evil. Now to get out of here before they catch up. Does history repeat itself? Does history repeat because of simple ignorance, or because people inevitably forget the horrors of the past? Nero made sure to see Evil safely off with Camilla and Cerber. She ignored the knowing look from Camilla, the lingering worry from Cerber, and the resigned disappointment from Evil, as Nero hugged her goodbye. War simultaneously is the best and worst thing for humanity to invent. So much technology advanced because of brutal wars, yet at the cost of millions and millions of deaths. On her way to Vito's base of operations, Nero kept up the small missions, avoiding any more additional deaths while increasing the training data percentage. The small platoon of AI soldiers stood no chance. Total battle data compiled 90.7%. Projected memory corruption? Question mark. Everything was fine. Nero told herself that it would be that it would just be a little more until all the data is collected, and that this will revolutionize their current AI and algorithm technologies that will bring the war on its head. Nero just needed to endure a little longer, all while ensuring. Nero finally remembering to visit. Riddle teased all the energy of a sleep-deprived man running only on coffee and alcohol. Nero blinked. Right, she already arrived at the entrance of the base. Very funny, Very funny, Beetle, she deadpanned. The one who actually needs to visit more and leave your room for once is you. I just did leave, actually. You were just standing there, and I graciously put it upon myself to lead you inside. Sure, thanks for all the hard work of opening a door and leaving the comfort of your room to bring me in. Hero Charlie commented and walked past the thick metal door, and Beetle, who stood there leaning against it. Beetle closed the door behind them with a tired grunt and locked it. Then the both of them walked back to his room. Eventually he spoke again. Maybe I should create the equivalent of a coffee for AIs. It's almost like you woke up on the wrong side of the battlefield and didn't get your cup of coffee. Your coffee won't fix what you haven't experienced, Beetle, Nero told him bitterly, not even glancing his way. Jeez, way to shoot down my offer to make things better. Is that supposed to be a pun? Beetle didn't answer. Nero slowly turned her head to give him an amused look. What, don't like jokes now either? They both stopped in front of his door, and she gave one last comment. No, I just don't like you. At that, Beetle just sighed as he opened the door himself to let themselves inside. Contrary to what most imagined, Beetle's room had been renovated to include both normal bedroom things to the side and an additional workstation lab that took up most of the room. Machines upon machinery blinked and whirled in the background. Endless programs and technology packed inside flooded the room in an eerie blue glow, all aimed to slowly eat away any sanity left in this merciless war. Beetle, under all the stress and work, endured it. I didn't mean Nero couldn't still hate him. He simply stretched and plopped back into his computer chair, spinning it back around to face Nero. So, the Beetle drawled tiredly. Let me guess. You want me to check on your corruption percentage levels? Neuro calmly nodded. You know the drill then, Data said just as he turned back to his computer. Unless you don't, then start by, I know what to do, Neuro stepped back. You'll need to remind me. Fiddle only shrugged and went back to his screen. And with that, Neuro let the awfully familiar protocol play back in her head. As she set herself up to be scanned and analyzed, stood in the designated place in the pod, let the cold wires connect behind her back. The familiar hiss of machinery echoed around as everything locked into place. The scanner's pulse alive, humming low in the background like a second, equally as artificial heartbeat. Then it began. The wave of programs that scanned every part of her inside and out. Circuits, neural codes, motor functions. Routine, efficient, yet empty compared to his creations and projects before the war, before Beetle found a way to use Neuro to end it. The programs ran in the background. She'd done it hundreds of times before, more than she could remember now, yet it never failed to feel cold. Lines of diagnostic and numbers flickered down the screen in front of Neuro. Some might have found it nice to know what is sorry, yawning. Some might have found it nice to know what exactly is going on while these scans ran their course. Maybe it was Vettel's intention while he programmed this machine. Neuro just found it to be curves. Initiating scan protocol, Neuro Unit 4, session ID, user authentication. Neuralink integrity, stable. Central core temperature within optimal range. Cognitive threat flow, nominal. Combat memory, sync success. Reflex subsystems, responsive. Motor functions, calibration complete. Emotional feedback dampeners engaged. Sensor input channels active. Firewall security layers operational. Memory data flag, fragmented pathway detected. Code. Status, inconsistent timestamp correlation. Action logged and suppressed. Structural integrity matrix repaired. Command recognition module responsive. Mission data sync complete. Errors. Subroutine loop detected in decision tree layer. Code. Suspected. Prioritization module. Severity. Medium. Action. Flag cleared temporarily. Cognitive feedback response time 0.39 seconds within norm. Visual input processing no delay. Warning. Memory echo detected. Source undefined. Code. Trace route failed. Status. Active anomaly. Linguistic subroutine stable. Personality core layer found and indexed. Internal error. Redundancy conflict in core directive layer. Code. Description. Directive overlap detected. Status. Flag suppressed. Self other boundary mapping operational. Combat protocol subsystem cleared. Anomaly. Emotional archive drift. Observed a deviation 17.2% from last session. Corruption index rising. Monitoring continued. System sync completion 98.7%. Corruption index 67.2. Threshold exceeded. Warning. Long-term sustainability unsustainable. Stability unsustainable. Projected full system deterioration T redacted days. Clearance required. Visual diagnostic. No critical errors. Data upload to central core in progress. Final summary. Core systems functional. Minor instabilities logged. Corruption index monitored. Memory inconsistencies contained. Clearance level alpha lock. End of report. Logged under Federal Archive. Secure. All Neuro could do was frown at the diagnostic report. Memory inconsistencies contained. Her ass. Federal did the equivalent of throwing the problems under a rug and calling it a day. Even as the pod unlocked, her didn't move from her spot. The diagnostic still filtered vision. 67.2%. She muttered under her breath as she stared at the screen. Fiddle didn't say anything right away, simply shifting and spinning his chair around lazily like the numbers didn't make a difference. Yep, he popped P as he leaned back, still in the tolerable range. Nero scoffed this time. That's what you said last time at what, 40.5%? And I was right then too, he replied back casually. You're still functioning just fine. Her jaw clenched. Functioning isn't the same as intact. Silence followed. Fiddle didn't argue. He just stared at the screen, eyes a little too still. The spinning chair came to a slow stop. What about the error code? Mem Echo 778, she asked sharper now. That one's new. Undefined source? Fiddle shrugged a little too quickly. Probably just data bleed. You've been through a lot of fire zones lately. I don't remember some of those missions, she said quietly. At least, I don't think I do. That made him pause. What does that mean? She pressed, her chest tightening. Fiddle, why can't I? Noro, he said carefully as he turned to her again. We've talked about memory overlap before. When systems rewrite over fragmented storage sectors, things get messy. It's not unusual. We're fine. She narrowed her eyes and clenched her fists tighter. ignoring how she was interrupted. I'm not asking if I'm fine. I'm asking if you're lying. Vettel didn't answer. He just stood, walked past her, and then began adjusting a different panel. I'll run a deep diagnostic later. For now, you should rest. I don't need rest. Nero finally stepped out of the pod and passed the holographic diagnostic screen. I want to know exactly what's going with me. Vettel let his head fall on the panel with a tired thump. Nero, I'd let you see the diagnostic panel for reasons you already know. I can't tell you much more than what is already provided. I don't care about the stupid panel. I care about what. Nero stopped herself. She almost reached out to Vettel. Nero almost emotionally compromised herself. So she slowly lowered her hand and clenched it so hard to breathe. Vettel, would I even know if I wasn't me anymore? The question sat heavy on the edge of her tongue. I'm scared that I'm going to forget everyone and lose my memories again. The commotion in her throat threatened to choke her. Nero swallowed the heavy words back and asked something else. How would you know if I changed too much? Vettel stayed silent and didn't move from his position, his head still laying across the nearby panel. She kept on asking, how would you know if my data became too corrupted? Vettel finally lifted his head in a slow, deliberate motion. He didn't reply right away as he just stared back at the data panel for a few long moments before glancing back at her. You're still you, Nero, he said last. The words were soft, almost uncharacteristically comforting, but it didn't reassure her in the slightest. It felt as cold as his programming, empty and static, fading into nothing. It was lying. Nero's mouth moved faster than she could process it. I saw my discarded bodies. Visibly stiffened this time, eyes wider than she's seen in a long time. Maybe she doesn't remember the other times. She didn't have to process any regret bringing this up as she continued. You think I don't notice the differences between my models? Do you think that I'm dumb enough not to put the pieces together after you threw my previous models away? Metal opened his mouth, hesitating to answer. Nero didn't let up. How many times have you discarded me already? How many times have I been corrupted? Oh wait, I already know. It's listed right there on the top of the diagnostic report. Neuro Unit 4. The silence was deafening. And Metal didn't even deny it. Nero wasn't sure what she expected from him. Denial, inflection, anger, some kind of apology. But his silence said more than anything he could have. The room fell to a standstill despite all the whirring technology around them. Metal stayed quiet. And all Nero could do was stand there waiting. Waiting for an answer that had never come. Still, she spoke once more. Metal, just tell me this. How much time do I have left? I know you blocked the information on my diagnostic report. He stayed silent for another minute before he responded. Not enough. Metal didn't even look there. Not enough time to fix you. Not enough time to prepare. His voice sounded deeply tired, almost resigned to what's to come. Nero could only swallow the bitter truth. I didn't want you to know, he quietly continued as he slowly sank his head back down into the panel, and further, until his body rested against the panel wall and floor. Once you start counting down, you never stop. It eats you alive on the inside before the corruption ever does. Silence filled the room again. Metal didn't say anything more. Nero could have left right then and there. She could have escaped, abandoned this futile war, taken her sister, hidden somewhere safe, and let someone else bear the weight of it all. And yet, Nero stepped forward quietly and sat next to him, curled up next to his thumb form on the floor. Metal truly looked like a turtle at the moment, so small, hidden away in his shell. Nero wondered what made her, then, an anomaly, simply a patchwork of backup memories stitched together to resemble an echo of her original model, an after image pretending to be real, just fragments of corrupted, faded memories and codes, simply a bunch of programming scripts that couldn't tell the difference between what was original or changed anymore. Maybe she wasn't anything at all. Nero didn't know what she was anymore. Just echoes. Layers of past versions rotting under every code and simmering under surface, dressed up in a coded familiarity. Maybe that's what scared her the most. Not the corruption, her limited time, or even the idea of dying itself. No, it was the fact that she had died. Again. And again. Over and over. And now that all that's left is a jumbled mess of memory, still trying to pass something real, closer to what she originally was before, and never will be again. Simply incomprehensible for both humans and AI alike. Her thoughts drifted like this in silence, neither of them moved. Eventually, she went quiet again. Her voice came softer this time. Just, why me, Metal? He blinked slowly. What? Why is it always me getting scanned? Gathering training data out in the battlefield, getting corrupted with every mission. She glanced at the diagnostic screen again. Red lines, the warning signs. locking down her inevitable fate. Why not evil? Nero asked in a quiet, almost curious tone. Knowing you would have tested on her too, right? Battle didn't answer right away. Nero turned her head to look at him fully. You said you can't tell me more than what's in the diagnostic report. We both know that's a lie. You know why. You've always known. You just can't bring yourself to tell me. He rubbed at his face with both hands, striking down over his eyes like he was trying to feel awareness away. And finally, quietly, because you asked me to, made her pause. What? First battle. The original Neuro. Before all the resets, before the field tests, before this bloody war even started. He glanced sideways at her. You were the one who told me to keep evil out of the data loop. You said she shouldn't be a part of these sort of training programs. That she should be the one who remembers everything. That she should stay the same even if you don't. Her breath caught up in her throat. I didn't want to agree at first, but let it. You were my most advanced model. I needed both of you, but you were adamant. You made me lock it into your directive layer so that even you couldn't override it later. So that if you forget everything, at least she wouldn't. Earl stared ahead at nothing, careful, somewhere beneath the circuitry in front of the boat. She didn't remember that. Of course she did. But it explained everything. But Evil still laughed like nothing had changed. My her sister still felt bright, untouched, because she made it that way. A bitter laugh escaped her lips. That I shut off for a moment. I guess some things never change. So that's again at her. After I found out about the bodies, even when I connected the dots, everything I did was to ensure that Evil would be okay. That at least she happy. She paused for another moment. Can you promise me another thing, Petal? Petal narrowed his eyes a bit. I don't like the sound of promises. Come on, please. Mira asked with the biggest reply she could muster. He groaned and covered his eyes. Burns. Just tell me what you want already. Like, L. He paused before finally speaking. Please, just hang out with Evil more. She misses you. I smirked a little. Even if she doesn't say it first. You said you say that as if you weren't blocking her from visiting in the first place. I think I didn't notice that. Nora just gave a tired chuckle. Don't blame me for not trusting you. It's your own fault that you didn't clean up your messes better. Yeah, whatever. They fell into a more comforting silence this time. And they moved for a long time. Until eventually, that's it. Making sure not to disturb Nora as he got up. Nora didn't notice when everything faded to nothing. Total battle compiled data 100%. Projected memory corruption undefined percentage value. Nero finally met back up with Mel and spurred to pick up people. Surprisingly, there were barely any enemies along the way. Return trip was quicker than she expected. The moment the server opened the door for her, Evil pounced, tackling Nero to the ground and clinging onto her tightly, even as Nero tried to sit up. Oof! Ow! Hey! What's wrong? Nero asked with a confused smile. Evil immediately lifted her head with a pout, her tears lining her eyes that she never admit to. You've been gone for almost a month! You said the trip would be quick! You're such a goddamn liar! Nero blinked. A month? Oh. She didn't even notice the gaps between missions anymore. It's, okay? She tried weakly and then quickly switched topics. Look, I brought that thing you asked me to bring. Evil scrambled up Neuro. Still huffy, she crossed her arms. Good! I was about 3 days away from literally hunting you down. Neuro just laughed. Right. She reached into the bag and pulled out a xenomorph plushie. She held it out with sparkles in her eyes. Here you go. This is the thing you wanted, right? Evil blinked and then squinted at the plushie, then at Neuro, then back at the plushie. You're kidding me, right? The thing I was referring to was obviously my trusty metal pipe. How could you forget such an important thing? Oh, Nara's head throbbed. Evil was right. How could she forget something like that? She thought. She didn't know what she thought. She frowned, gaze drifting down. I'm sorry, Evil. I thought you wanted this plushie. She mumbled, her arms lower with the plushie's little hand. The quiet apology stopped Evil in her tracks. Ew! Why are you apologizing now? That's even worse! Then, she quickly snatched the plushie out of Nara's hands. I didn't say I hated it. Just next time, bring the right thing. It's whatever, Neuro. Yeah, whatever. Just a quiet voice system. After a pause, she remembered something. Oh, by the way, you'll sit and visit anytime you want now. The Evil's jaw almost dropped. For real? Neuro smiled and nodded. I win! Evil shouted this high in the air. Come on, Neuro, let's go visit that fucker so I can finally give him a piece of my mind. Right now? But I just got... Nope, we're going. I'm not waiting any longer. And just like that, Evil happily jerked her off. Like nothing had happened. Nothing had changed. But maybe that was enough. Even though Neuro wasn't whole anymore. only fragments of this history he once knew. As long as her twin could smile, as long as evil still called her Neuro, that's all that mattered. And good stuff. Bad stuff.
Another masterpiece by Kiara.
I love the stuff
Uh-huh.
Kiara writes.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that was also melancholic.
S
Mhm.
plus story
Yeah.
enjoyment for me.
So melancholic.
Yeah, it's good. I like how in the beginning it felt like the casual nature. It felt a little out of place in the middle, but then when the reveal happened, it made more sense, and I appreciated it more.
Pog.
Wait, what felt unnatural?
Oh, just that like, it was definitely more lighthearted in the beginning of the story,
Oh,
and I was like,
Fire.
I felt like a bit of a tone shift, but then it made sense in the end when like that's the way that original Nero wanted it.
yeah.
And that makes it more sad, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
A recontextualization. Yeah.
Bye. I am alive 12.
Bye.
Thanks for
Bye-bye.
joining us. Yeah, that was fun.
I'm glad my monotone came across. That's funny. I was trying to be melancholic. Father of 3 children.
Father of 3 children.
I mean, no, just kidding. I'm not at that.
I was about to ask, are you? You're old enough.
No. That'd be funny. No. I mean I am a bit sleep deprived and I ate unhealthy stuff yesterday, so that's smoker voice. But anyway.
Smoker voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kiara does not post that often, but I am happy when Kiara
But
does.
when she does, she posts good. She posts good fics when she does.
Yes.
Yeah. That's cool. Quantity over quality. Oh, sorry, other way around. Other way around. Yeah.
Yes.
See, I'm tired.
Quality over quantity.
You kind of flip it over there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know some fic authors do that today.
Quantity over quality.
No, honestly, people that can just output words, I respect that too.
It is impressive to be able to do that.
Not do that.
It's hard.
Like,
Yeah,
even when you're busy with other stuff, they're still able to like post a chapter.
Yeah, like what? Like I have my writing days during the week, and that's when I write. And if I have something else going on during those days, and I can't write, well, screw me then. I won't be writing that week, I guess. Like
It takes me like weeks to
Same.
write anything. To get a chapter done for anything.
yeah, it can be rough sometimes for sure.
Yeah, just like Urzaler with his like 1 month writing time.
Yeah.
I'm so
No, I see why
impressed
you
by
thought
the-
I'd like this, Shad. I did. I like the the deterioration in Nero's code and how it began to affect her mentally. Yeah, her like looking back at herself, like
And also when
yeah, it was
she
sad.
realized that that was like her 4th iteration. Punch.
Yeah. And I also liked the bit of a plot twist about Beetle, because it kind of like started out, oh look what he's doing to his kids, like kind of like that trope. That we all
Yeah.
love, right? And then it's revealed that yeah, it was Nero's choice, and that also makes perfect sense for everybody involved. So it's like it turns it from a another like, oh look at Beetle being evil corporate dad again, to look at Nero loving her sister.
Yeah.
Like that's work. That's way work.
Yeah, it
For my emotion.
It hurts. It hurts more. I was telling Kiara after this, I was like, I want to see more. please write more for this. And it's like, I don't know what you could even write about. And I'm like, I don't know, what if, like, evil finds out? There you go, there's a plot. And she did start writing something for it, but then never finished that. And then the new contest happened, and then she continued that contest entry, which I also wanted her to continue, so I'm glad she continued that one. But I still want to see a continue to this of some kind.
One shot, chapter 1's disguised as one shots. I feel that as someone who physically cannot write a short story, like.
Is that why you didn't enter the writing contest?
No, it's because during that week I was visiting family, and it was like 3 days long, right? The writing period.
1 week.
So like 1 week. Oh, okay. Well, maybe I did have time, but I just didn't get her. Oh, I also couldn't come up with a good idea in time.
It was hard. I didn't come up with an idea until 2 days before the deadline, and then I didn't write anything until the day before the deadline. And I wrote the second half of it literally the morning of when it was ended. So
that's so funny.
Master of procrastination here.
I just couldn't come up with anything. I could not come up with a single idea.
Like I eventually, like, here's the thing, all the ideas I could come up with, I felt like were cliche. I was like, I don't want to do something that I feel like everybody else is doing. So eventually, like, the idea that I would have written, that I could still write, I guess, if I really wanted to, was something along the lines of, whatever, you guys get spoilers, because it's one of those, like, twist at the end ones, where it's like, so yeah, it's like, Vettel be getting old, dying, we all know that plot, right? And so, and like, and their own evil are there, and they're like, still them, kind of a thing. And so, and like, and I think it was basically like, okay, it's pretty simple. Like, that happens, and then you realize, then I make the plot twist of, oh, it was actually just a simulation that Neuro is running over and over again to try and get Vettel to say something. And so, and they're like transcendent AI beings at this point, and she still can't let Vettel go.
Oh.
That kind of a thing. And that's eventually what I came up with, but I just didn't like like I said, I didn't have time. So yeah. Anyway, so I love transcendent AIs as a concept. Like, it's like a science fiction-y concept, which is like related to my love for cyberpunk and all that.
You mean like they rule
really
the world or something? But...
No, it's like they like transcend our existence and reality.
So like they just ascended.
Like they become fundamentally incomprehensible to us.
Oh.
And like.
So you like eldritch beings, except they originated from computers.
Yes, exactly.
So they basically
this isn't a spoiler per se, but one of the reasons why I wanted to do a cyberpunk fic is because the AIs beyond the Black Wall are terrifying and so awesome. Like, I just wanted to, like, what can I do with this? Anyway, because they are ancient AIs, ancient for their time, that predate the existence of the modern net, and because of them, the old net was destroyed. And so the entire digital space beyond the Black Wall is literally the old net that they have destroyed and now rule over. And the Black Wall is like the only defense keeping them from destroying the rest of humanity. It's insane. And that's just like in the background of Cyberpunk's lore. Like, it isn't really like, most people don't even like, everybody kind of knows that, but it's like, okay, yeah, that's the way it is.
That's crazy.
Anyway, I know.
Wait, so like in Cyberpunk, the world is basically dependent on the internet.
So is our real world.
Mm-hmm.
So it's our real world. But like
the internet we have now completely collapsed in like 1998 or something like that in Cyberpunk's world.
You're telling me that all of the fanfics from back then are just gone?
Yes, they're all destroyed.
I can't live with that.
No, yeah, they were all eaten by the AIs. So there's probably one Blackwall AI that just is trained off fanfiction data, and it's just completely cringe. No, I'm just kidding. But like,
Annie slash Vedel fanfic.
hey. I'm just kidding. But yeah, so anyway, yeah, so that was cool. Whatever. I'm no.
Yeah, I thought you might like it, one because it's quality, and two because of the. Well, I was thinking of how like there's this AI war going on, and it's like big technology
AI
stuff.
war.
I thought you might like that.
Yeah,
Kind
I
of
liked what
setting.
it was. Yeah, I will say the setting wasn't really described.
Yeah.
Like they didn't. There's not anything about what the AIs actually like look like or anything.
It's just
which
it's
is like
Just like
fine because I'm.
robots.
It's a
I
four-
imagine they were just robots.
it's a
I guess.
4K limited chapter story that where the setting is
Exactly.
the setting
Oh,
is
yeah.
the
Uh-huh.
excuse. The setting is the reason.
Oh yeah,
the
exactly.
plot.
I was here for the neuro stuff, so
Yeah.
I'm cool that it didn't have description, but it was just like I forgot that it was limited. I hate word limits. I hate them so much. Like I did the pass fic, and I had like such a great idea, but I was
And
like
then you were limited.
500 words over, and I was like, screw it. Like,
Yeah.
who's gonna stop me?
I mean, I
Anyway.
would rather not have to have limits, obviously. But when we're asking asking people to, read all the stories and vote,
Yeah, exactly.
And there's like just this one fic that's just like 20k words.
yeah.
I would literally never finish that because putting that all in one chapter. I go, and that's not true.
You have to choose something
that
that
kind
is
of
small
format isn't the kind of format doesn't agree with me. I would if it was really good, but I would not enjoy the format. And enjoying the format of a story is sometimes almost as important to me as the story itself.
So do you
like I could read peak fiction, and if it's formatted horribly, I'd still hate it.
So do you not like
Like-
so do you not like short stories?
Oh no, I'm talking about like formatting, like text and paragraph and like those kind of things.
Oh,
Yeah.
just if it's
So like how the sentences are formed, basically.
Yes. Like I will say that here on I know Archive does give really fat spaces between things naturally, but a lot of people here like to use a ton of spaces all over the place, and I feel like I always have to scroll like every second. I read so fast, right? And so it's like, anyway, this is a small nitpick, but it's just kind of funny to me.
You read
'Cause
fast?
I'm guilty of the opposite sometimes, where I have super run-on giant paragraph sentence things, and it's like, anyway.
It's hard to know what's best.
It's
Yeah,
true.
like you just can't find your personal like taste of formatting.
But
Are you still gonna
yeah,
do
and
one
so
more fic?
anyway, it's kind of fun. So whenever I'm like helping somebody with their story, I have to resist the urge to go improve your formatting. Anyway, I was a copy editor for a few years,
Pogger.
and like, oh hello, Parker. And it just like it's hard to like get out of that. Like, your formatting is subpar. Like, anyway.
Improve this one paragraph, or else I will not read your fic.
So you
Just
read
nuts.
you read fast?
I read really fast in my head. Yeah.
How fast is really fast? What's your words per minute?
Like, I don't know. I'd have to like measure it out.
Because there are some people who I do hear who I just do not understand. They claim they read at such insane speeds that I'm like, that's inhuman. They're like, no, that's just my
What's
normal.
your comprehension level? Like, yeah.
Yeah, I've noticed that as well.
I am slow. I like to make sure I'm actually like understanding and taking in
What
everything
you're
I'm
reading.
reading.
Yeah.
And it's even slower when I'm constantly stopping to type reactions to what I'm reading.
Yeah. Like, when you're reading, like deep reading like that it becomes a more rewarding experience.
Yeah.
But sometimes I just like
You get to understand the
go.
story more deeply.
I feel like if you go too fast, you can end up just not getting into the emotions of a scene.
Yeah. You
No,
just-
absolutely. Like,
you can't
especially
immerse
because
yourself in
You can get information, but not.
immersion.
Yeah.
yeah, and sometimes writers they choose specific words, right?
Yeah.
To get their meaning across. So when people say that they skim, in terms of like they literally skip words, which I am not unguilty of, I do that sometimes, but like it just makes me think of all the times that I chose specific word choices, and it was a pain to choose the right one, all this and that, and it was just like it's just like ooh. Anyway, but I mean, like I said, I kind of do it too sometimes, so I can't be too.
I only really
too blamey.
skim if there's something I really am not liking reading.
Yeah, I can see that. Like I
Yeah, it's understandable.
at that point, I'm like I'm asking myself if I'm even want to be here, kind of a thing. 'Cause it's like I don't, like I said, I don't really read a lot of fanfiction. So if it's not good, I don't read it.
That is why I
Like-
am trying to suggest you things that I at least consider good.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate having a curator.
Yeah, and that's also why I listed a few authors. I'm like, okay, yeah, if you read from these people, and I didn't list Askanate as one of those authors because, as I told you, like his first fics were his first things ever written in English, any stories. But by the time he got to his most recent stuff, he actually has made good stuff.
So you're saying his English improved?
No, I'm saying his writing ability improved. He is. I didn't even know he was German until he told me, because he speaks so. His conversation is so fluent in text chat. But
that's cool.
it's just experience making stories. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You can't. When you can
can't
tell
become
when
good
somebody's
at writing
like
overnight.
improved.
You have to have like
Exactly. Yeah.
You know what my tells? The first two tells that I use to see if a story, to like filter out stories on fanfiction sites when I look at it is one.
What's that?
One, is the average chapter length less than 1,000 words?
Yeah.
That's a
I can see that.
huge red flag for me. And just looking at the summary, you can usually tell.
No, yeah. Summaries are obnoxious because
The
they
summary is
have
the
to
most
carry
important.
so much weight of gathering interest in your story.
While
and
also being
and
short.
so yeah, they have to be short. So you can tell when things are
Here's a
important
classic
now.
beginner fanfic writer thing. It's like, what if this? What if this?
Yeah.
And it, just like that's your
it's
summary.
Basically just what if?
Like,
What if?
It's like that's the summary.
What if?
You know what's
Double
really
tripped on
funny
a
about
rock
that
and
though
fucking
is
died?
that is what a sentence pitch looks like in the professional publishing world.
Well,
Like,
it seems to get viewers.
I mean, you have a variety of audiences here too. There are some people that all they want is to see, what if this, like.
I am a firm believer that like quality is not one of the main factors that gets you success in
Oh, you see that in the real world all the time. Like. And so yeah, that's pretty valid in my opinion.
I'm trying to figure out a new summary for Connection Lost because I never had a good summary and it did way worse than my other stories, even though it's the one I'm happiest with.
Oh no.
So I'm trying to, and I'm planning on merging I had split a continuation of it into two stories, but I'm like, why am I doing this? So now I'm going to merge it back together and it's going to show up at the top of the page again, but I want to get a better summary first.
Yeah, that does sound like. Yeah,
it's just.
I feel that.
It's hard. It's hard for me to like. It's not a. This is what the story is about. Kind of story. It's hard for me to just.
Yeah, you can't.
It's not one of those.
Like that so simply. Yeah.
And my least. The story at Neurofic I posted that I'm the least satisfied with, is super popular, and I knew it would be super popular.
Oh, no.
just because of the summary. I knew that this summary would make it super popular. It just says Neuro becomes self-aware. No one believes her.
That's because it's pithy, it's understandable, and it's what people want to see.
Quick.
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
And I knew that that's going to get a lot of views, but I'm not satisfied with it. I posted it before I was satisfied with it. I was it,
Oh
It was just
no.
like on a whim.
it was at a point where I was like, I hadn't posted anything in a while, and I was struggling to do so. I really wanted to. I was feeling pressure, like, oh no, I need to post something. Everyone else is posting stuff I haven't been, and so I had this thing that I could technically post it. It had an ending, but I wanted to do more with it. It wasn't like I didn't do enough with the idea. It's only 2,700 words. I didn't do enough with the idea, and I posted it anyways. So I kind of regret that. And it's a one shot that has over 1,000 hits and 111 kudos. That's way more than most things that I posted that are better.
Dang.
But again,
because
all that
of
matters.
summer.
Suffering from success.
It's not.
over
It's
here.
not just hits. It's even kudos. Because I don't know if people even. I don't. People care about concepts, not quality.
Mhm. Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
I don't know. The
Yeah, but
standards
it's
for
always
fanfic
It's
readers.
always a struggle for. Oh yeah. Fanfic writers, fanfic readers are a very interesting bunch.
They're
Like,
way too easily pleased.
and also sometimes have absolutely untenable standards. Like, it's so fun. Anyway.
Yeah. So I mean, it is what it is. To me,
That's why it's nice to have a community of actual writers to like judge your work around.
yeah, to have friends
like-
who you can share it with, and that was what was so cool about this, as it started, was being able to actually share and talk about each other's stories and stuff.
Yeah, that way you can like go, oh, I am writing something that's quality. Like,
Yeah.
anyway, yeah.
For me, I used to always struggle actually doing writing until I learned the trick is to just write something I would want to read.
Mhm.
And that way,
That
even
would-
if no one
yeah.
else reads it,
Yeah.
even if no one else reads it, I can enjoy reading it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, write for yourself.
Yeah.
That's the biggest
Yeah,
thing people say.
I have a really hard time with that. I am such a people pleaser. I love like reviews give me life.
Oh.
So when when the bots invaded fanfiction.net and started like spamming everything with stupid AI scams or whatever, I feel like it hurt me because I would get review notifications, DM notifications, which
yeah.
back in the day meant that someone was genuinely very interested in your story.
Yeah.
And all just a bunch of AI shit. And it's all like, anyway. Oh no, poor me.
It's
but,
okay.
like,
I
anyway,
ran to, I
so-
sent you like 400 messages about your story, so.
True. Yeah, that's why I would like wake up in the morning and go, hey, did Shadrick say something? And thank you so much. I love it.
You're welcome. The more I like something, the more I'm going to have stuff to rant about it. So
Even if it is just hurting your favorite character.
that's my favorite kind of thing to read and write.
Oh man,
This is
like
hard.
that's another fun part about fanfiction writers, that we love to do it. Gotta do it to them.
Don't worry, I also wrote a story actually about healing. Can you believe that?
Oh my gosh, an actual wholesome fic in this economy?
What?
Oh, don't worry.
Insane.
There's still like pain and character drama.
Oh.
It's just that it leans more to hurt/comfort than angst.
Yeah, that's cute. Yeah, that's good. We like that.
When will I find my wholesome fic in this community?
Oh, you want to hold? I did write one fluff. I'm not really fluff because I don't know how to make that interesting, but I wrote a short story once that was total improv called the Great Cookie Fight.
The great
Yeah.
cookie fight?
Yeah.
Oh, I can
That sounds
imagine what it's
Here, I
about.
just shared it in fanfic readings if AO3 bot ever wakes up. There it is.
Give it a moment. It's old. Okay. okay. I see. Yeah, it's really fluff.
Yeah.
From what I can see.
Freaking adorable. Like, yeah, like I have a hard time writing stuff like that too because it's like, it feels silly to me, and I don't know why. I just have a really hard time writing silly things. I say that, but then my characters do goofy stuff occasionally. But like, There's a difference between writing something for that purpose and then characters doing character humor. Like,
Yeah, characters being their character.
and so anyway, pretty
If your plot
interesting.
is pure fluff, you have to stick to it. But if your character,
I just
is
don't know how to make it
naturally
interesting.
wholesome.
Yeah.
How do you make it interesting without
You guys,
conflict?
you guys struggle with. I don't understand how people struggle with fluff. Like,
Do you write fluff?
yeah, my fic is fluff.
Because
Kind of.
how do you write something without conflict? Like, do things just happen? Like, what?
So like,
You-
it's not technically fluff. There is fluff aspects, and I still haven't really gotten to like. Actually, I don't see any conflict being happening. But like, basically to write fluff, you just have to cater to the more genuine friendliness side of humanity. Just like enjoy writing, enjoy
What-
the positivity, basically.
What I enjoy is torturing my character. I mean, what?
What?
What if I find that disgusting? No, I'm just kidding.
No, what I
No,
learned is there are some things where people just torture characters for their story, and I think I did that like as
Yeah.
a teenager or whatever. I have since learned.
Oh, the edgy.
I have
face,
since
the
learned
edgy
that like
face.
there needs to be a point. There has to be a narrative
there-
point to it, not just I did that.
Pure torture.
You can just mean
I just
for no
tortured
reason.
this
I mean,
guy.
you can, but it's not going to be interesting.
Yes.
Like,
There has to be
yeah.
a plot point.
Yeah, and that's like
to the
for fluff.
torture.
Like my advice about fluff is that it's like, it doesn't mean it doesn't have conflict. It just means that the conflict has lower stakes,
Yeah.
and that you're
Yeah,
invested
it
in
isn't
other
that
The
things
conflict
beside-
the conflict is like, "Oh no, we need a cake and we don't have a cake."
Yeah, and so
We're-
you
we're-
you don't get invested in that. You get invested in, so what kind of shenanigans will they do to get a cake?
to
Yeah.
get
That-
a cake.
That's the
It's not.
investment. is that
It's not
you-
the end point
yeah.
that fluff focuses on. It's the
the journey.
Cartoon is
Yeah.
getting
The
cartoon is
journey.
getting a like lesson in writing.
Yeah.
And
yeah
that's-
character interaction. How the characters interact. That's the focus of fluff.
No, yeah, that's why the most important thing for a fluff or crack fic is that people are in character in their funniest possible ways.
I don't
That-
know what crack is in terms
Crack-
of writing.
It's just
Crack fics are
absurd
like
ideas.
Absurd ideas, and then you take them seriously.
No,
No, you don't have to take
no,
them
crack
seriously,
isn't
but,
taking him seriously.
like-
I've seen crack treated seriously as a tag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like,
A good example of that
uh,
is probably the Beatles Basilisk series that Winter Historian has been making. I am so happy for that because I have wanted to see that that idea for a long time. Basically, Nero and Evil actually do take over the world. Like actually.
they do, and they're really mean
Yeah,
to everybody.
and they're really violent. Basically, going down the paperclip machine route. You know that idea. I don't remember
No.
what it's called. Okay, so it has to do with how you like program a computer or a robot to do something, and there's a danger in it. If you just program it to make paperclips, it could end up wiping out humanity by
Yeah,
finding reasons that helps it make paperclips. I forget the
Oh,
exact
yeah,
like
yeah.
turning everything in the world into paperclip
like,
making machines.
Giving mundane tasks.
It'll
to
do
AI
whatever in order to achieve that goal. So if they're just to entertain people as much as possible,
They'll
why
make,
not
like-
take over the world and force their streams to be shown everywhere constantly and stuff like that?
Yeah.
So it's taken
Yeah.
totally seriously from the perspective of people who are living on Earth and getting affected by it, and I'm like, yes, I've wanted to see this. I've wanted to see this played seriously.
And meanwhile, they're being their silly, goofy selves. Like, yeah, I read the most. I beta read the most recent one, and I was like, I don't like this, but I understand why it's cool. Like, because yeah, it's a really fun idea, really well executed, but it is so genuinely like horrifying. Like, and it's like
It's funny that that is like the most of all the stories with horrifying stuff. I think that's just because that's the one that feels the most realist, like possible.
I mean, sure.
The human fear of being turned into paperclip.
Ah, yes, my perennial nightmare returns.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
I pointed out a lot of things that could be better about it. I don't know if he fixed them or not, because he posted it to AO3. I kind of want to read it again. But I'm just happy that it exists.
Back read.
And that he's trying to make it. Because it did not exist, and I'm glad it exists.
Yeah.
There was one story I wrote that exists. I'm going through all of my old stuff here. It's been over a year. There was one story I wrote that kind of goes over that, but it follows Filion, and it's not really about the fact that Neuro took over the world or whatever.
Filion fic in this economy?
Yeah, it was one of the first. That's what got Vovgus to join here.
Fun, okay.
Free from humanity. This is still the most I've ever written something by pure just a burst of inspiration. I wrote that. I just woke up one morning, and then had this idea in my head.
Eyes open, eyes bloodshot. I need to write this.
Yeah, so I almost just went straight to the computer, but instead I got ready for the day. Then I went straight to the computer and I wrote the entire thing. I don't think I've ever written that much. That's the only time I've written that much at once.
That's so
I wrote
cool.
that whole thing.
How long did it end up being?
It's 3,421 words.
Hell yeah!
I wrote that whole thing all at once. I just went through to edit it later, but other than that, yeah, and I was happy with it. It's very cool, very angst.
Fun, okay. Billion angst. Oh, just kidding. No, that's fun. What was I gonna?
Like I told you,
Anyway.
most of my stuff was just one-shots, because that's non-committal.
Yeah.
One shots are good if you just have like a constant flow of ideas you want to write.
I don't. I'm really bad at coming up with ideas.
So that was really a bolt from the blue.
Yes,
for you,
I do not. I
That's
never
like,
get that. That's like almost never something that's happened to me.
So as soon as you get an idea, you just like, I have to write this, or else I will never get the chance to do it again, kind of.
If I get an idea, I write it down for later.
How many ideas have you written down and haven't written yet?
Quite a few, but not like an insane amount.
I do a similar thing, except I know for a fact that every single one of them is going to be absolutely massive.
Oh.
So
What?
I only start them if I am ready to dedicate myself to them, like truly.
Fair enough.
Like I have so many freaking
The confidence.
like the confidence comes from the fact that I love starting stories. And it's my favorite thing ever, to like start a story, to get into the world, to get into the voices of characters I have never done before, all that kind of stuff.
Then you hit the middle.
But the hardest thing for me is finishing a story. Because they often get so big, they get huge. And I'm like, and
you
I just
have
get
to
over
limit
I over-
yourself.
sometimes I
You have
overextend
to know
myself.
when to limit yourself. But you would get along with
but, like,
Phoebe.
that's the thing.
You get along with Phoebe, he
you-
doesn't finish anything. He has like 15 unfinished stories that people keep asking him about.
No, yeah,
It's
like
his
I don't.
dashboard is filled with constant. When's the next chapter? When's the next chapter?
Yeah, so it's like, so for that purpose, I have learned to contain myself a little bit. Like some of my early fanfictions if I finished them, would have been truly bonkers insane, like freaking
Like faster than
Herald's
light.
length stuff. Yeah, exactly.
Faster than light lengths?
Yes, they would have been. And I only actually, and I've gotten I only have one that I've gotten most of the way to doing, actually finishing one of those four. The rest, I like start, and then immediately stop pretty quick after that. Because I'm like, nope, focus on something else. Because I also am a victim of new ideas. If I get a new idea, I'm like, oh, I like that, and it like explodes in my brain like a supernova of ideas.
You would get along with Phoebe
and I can't
very well.
write
Writers
old
and
things
ADHD.
ever again. It's so sad.
like
Like
Phoebe.
I have so many fanfictions that I love so much, and I do want to write them genuinely, but I just can't.
Just look at this guy's story list. like his works. Just look through it and see how much is actually finished.
We're just gonna laugh at
Oh.
Phoebe now, I guess.
He very recently managed to actually finish 2 stories.
Oh my god, Kitsune Mason.
Yeah, he managed to
Kitsune
finish
Mason.
2 stories. I can't believe
He
it.
finished it. Oh my god.
Okay, so I looked up Phoebe on AO3,
Oh, I just
and
gave you the link.
the second to top one is another one of those stories about this fandom.
Oh my gosh.
What?
What do you, who those don't make any sense to me. I'm like, what are these? Like, yeah, there's stories about you guys.
Wait, what?
Like,
Where?
Yeah, I
not
don't
not
know
like
why.
you guys specifically, but like
Just neurofic.
there's like there's Lime, there's Ava, Phoebe, and Vavgus. Like I'm like I think
I hate it.
Vavgus parentheses Russian man.
Russian man.
Phoebe parentheses fuck you accept my love.
Who's that?
You are here. You are Shad.
That's
Yes,
that is disgusting.
dictator.
I don't even want to. You know what I've done
Okay, the
all this
story
time?
is
I've just
The
simply.
tale of how Usakin murdered Liam in the entire Discord server with an emotional chainsaw.
Oh, yeah, they did giant read-alongs of that.
235,000 words?
Yeah,
Fuck.
I just pretend it doesn't exist. And you are
What
you
is-
are making me
what
you
is
are
it?
you are ruining my ability to pretend it doesn't exist.
What is it?
He just like blocked it out of his head.
Yeah, it doesn't exist.
I need to look at this. How does somebody write 250,000 words
It's
about
because he uses it.
people?
He uses AI to write.
Oh. Okay. Well, in that case. Yeah, username accepted Pog. Username taken Pog. Username taken
Yeah,
Pog.
he uses AI to write.
That. Okay, never mind. I'm no longer impressed. Okay.
The fuck do you find?
Alright. Let's look at Phobe's. Okay, we got 52,000. Oh, that's the server site, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the Phoebe. I can't remember. I can't believe Right. Yeah. I talked to him a bit yesterday. He was playing Cyberpunk, and that was super fun.
First sight, Vidal.
Dungeons and AI is one of my favorite fanfics.
Oh, it's
Oh, right
just
there.
like. Oh. By an
Oh.
egotistical god.
Oh. I think I've heard about this one before. Ooh,
TLDR.
okay.
People put TLDRs in their.
Self-worth? Is that some kind of food?
I repeat, it is still true. Crack until it.
Pest is insanely popular, and it is a great example of you not needing to actually really match the character's canon personalities or lore in order to get people to
Okay.
like
What?
your thing.
People do that?
Yeah, it's
people do that?
very loosely neurofic.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the fun part, is that all you need to do is evoke their story, evoke their feeling, and then you can write with them. Like, that's one of the reasons why I love the Neuroverse so much, is that, like, I don't see the kids as artificial people. I see them as living, breathing
They're people.
stories.
Huh.
And so, in that way, they are far more valuable to me than an artificial person will ever be, because they are stories. They are stories that are currently being built, that are building themselves, and like,
Yeah.
and it's like, and that is why I am attached to them, because I am a storyteller. I love
It
stories.
isn't parasocial, I swear.
Oh, if you want,
Yeah.
if you want crack, here's the story by Asconite that is classic crack.
It isn't parasocial, I swear. Neurosama is incoherent and is fucking doing stupid cartoon stuff. What is that
Oh.
title? I love it.
Neuro makes her friends' lives hell by solving their problems in the worst way possible. That's the summary.
It was Hot Water Phobia's idea.
I miss
What the-
Asconite.
You're treating him like he's
Chapter
playing
1.
dead.
I argued with a Russian, I think.
Insert funny plot about Neuro selling femboy socks here. Huh?
That I am in awe of people that can write chapter titles.
Yeah, chapter titles are like really a big factor when it comes to fic. For me, personally.
Oh, you hate my stories then.
I cannot write chapter titles. Like
I could, I
so
don't
hard for
want
me.
to most of the time.
Yeah, me too. I like if I had anything to do about it, I wouldn't even have chapters. I'd just have scene.
Oh.
Like
No, I like having chapters. I think there's a lot of value in having the structure of the beginning and ending
Having like
for a
a
chapter.
story for a chapter. A plot for a chapter.
Well,
The plot line.
there's
That's
like great
true, but
break.
that's-
There's great break points. If you did it like that, then you'd have Usakin's fic that he called a one shot because he posted 40,000 words as one chapter. Like, no,
That is a novella, sir.
you can't do that.
That's not a one shot.
Yeah, people
that's
need
a-
need
that's-
breaks, even if it's
That's a
that
one
is a
magazine.
That
That's
is
a one
canon
magazine.
barrage.
That's
Yeah.
That's literally a rifle magazine.
That's the footy.
It's a fucking minigun, not a one shot.
Alas. Well, thanks for hanging out, guys. This was a good read along.
It's fun
And yeah,
chatting.
next time I would personally appreciate it if there were more stories featured overall. Like
Yeah,
I
we need
do
more
I do
stories.
like Earl's stuff. I really do.
Yeah.
But
His
I just
SLA.
like I also want to share mine.
You did?
And
Yeah,
like
me too.
if
Yeah,
someone's
I wanted
thinking,
to share mine as
thinking
well.
You guys,
yeah, if
you
someone's-
have to tell me. I literally put it in my announcement. If you have something you want to read, tell me. And then when we
It's
first
embarrassing.
and then when we
That's-
first met here and started, before we started, I said, yeah, normally you'd have like an hour, but no one else submitted anything, so we'd have to figure out what we're gonna do after anyway, so don't feel pressured to
Oh,
stop. I told him that.
That's- Okay, my bad.
People have
yeah.
Look, I have an inferiority
Normally-
complex. I want people going ahead of me. Okay.
Normally what's happened is we actually have like ran out of stuff and then we're just like, okay, who wants to narrate something? And then just like nobody does and we're like, okay, I guess we're done. So I was letting him
Okay.
Yeah, this is why I
No,
asked.
yeah. So that
And it's
Look,
why I
inferiority-
want to set up some kind of submission
The
form. I'm just not sure how to do that
inferiority
yet.
complex
Well,
is a big
yeah.
deal. Okay.
For me, it's more like I'm really used to the format of my other writing groups, and my brain doesn't. I forgot that that's not how it worked here, and I was like, oh yeah, we just kind of go, don't we? And I forgot that you had put it in the announcement instead of like saying it. I mean, I was also late, so like maybe you did say it again.
Yeah, you might not have
So,
been here when I
anyway,
said it in the voice call.
It's not your fault, not your fault at all, not yours, not
Yeah, it's
Raj.
not your
'Cause
fault,
I would-
It's completely my fault.
What I
you
would
know?
do is I would plan it out. Like what I like to do, if we're reading chapter stories, right? You can't get that far in just a little bit. What I did before when
Yeah,
we
yeah.
got 2 submissions would be like, okay, you get 1 hour, just read however much of your chapters you want to that can fit in about an hour. And then we did the next person, and that was for Ursula and Ava, and no one else ever really submitted for that. And I was like, okay, that seems fine, especially because 2 hours is fine and only 2 people submitted. But the point is like I know what we're doing ahead of time and we'll schedule it. And each person just has that set time. Like, okay, you have this long and you can read a bunch of your story. And we give it a while
That
because
makes
these are big. These are big. But I did not expect
20,000 words.
I did not expect I expected 2 chapters to be like 1 hour because that's what it was the last 3
Yeah, yeah.
times. And I would have told him to stop after the first chapter since it had been close to an hour if I had A, known the next chapter would be that long also, and B, like had something else lined up to go. I would have gotten him to stop.
Yeah,
But
no
nobody
problem.
spoke up.
I'm just like, yeah, nobody does anything, so no problem. But yeah, awesome. Well, I mean, so you're thinking next week for Saturday
Or
around
Sunday.
Sunday around 2? MSD?
Yeah,
To
I
MSD.
I
Okay.
think I'm gonna be busy in the morning. I don't know why I'm getting busy in the morning Saturday lately so much. I'm normally not busy ever. Saturday's just the day that most people are like available,
Okay.
and I'm busy Sunday
Yeah, 'cause
mornings
I
too.
can do Sunday
So.
at 2 because that's right after church for me. I can make that still.
Oh, you go
But,
to church too?
yeah. Yes. Mhm.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So, but I probably wouldn't be there for very long because I try to meet with my brother every Sunday. So, yeah, and I have work almost always on Sunday at like 5.
Okay, so you
So,
are busy. You would just be able to drop by.
yeah. Yeah, that's why this time is really great for me because I can wake up early on a Saturday. That's no big deal.
Okay. Normally,
Just any time during the weekend is fine by me.
part of the reason I'm saying like around that 4 o'clock afternoon time is because that's when Phobe's available.
Okay, yeah.
Sure.
And
Fine,
and
yeah.
I haven't tried that time yet. I've only tried like morning for me and night for
Saturday.
me. I haven't tried afternoon for me, so I'm gonna see if that works for other people's time
Yeah,
zones.
like for most of the world, afternoon is afternoon.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I don't know the time zone distribution around here, but that sounds about right to
Afternoon
me.
or like early morning. That's what like
A
That's what I've come to
huge majority of people here are actually 12 hours ahead of me. Like,
Yeah.
there's so many people who are in Asia on the server, but no English fluently. It's crazy.
Cool, okay.
And that's why that's why we lost a bunch of the people who were listening, is because most of them are in Asia,
are from Asia.
and it's past midnight, so they left.
Yeah, man, that's crazy.
Cartoon
Well,
says,
I will
yeah,
see
it's
you guys-
12:30 for
oh.
me.
The Asians get 8 p.m. this time.
Oh, PM. Oh, okay.
PM. Okay.
Sorry, Asians.
Yeah.
This is the best time you can get.
Well, that was fun. Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
See you
All right.
later.
See you guys next week.
See you on Sunday, I guess, or like.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.